All right. New feed. We're back. We're back. New feed. New feed. We are back. New feed. We are back. Beep, bop, bop. Boom, boom. I'm back. Back in the saddle again. I'm back. All right. Let me do a little tidying up. Continue our yeah, that's weird. I went up front. I went up front to take a break, and Laura came up there and said, "Hey, the feed ended." And I was like, "I didn't end the feed." So it just literally crashed while I was on break. And I saw where somebody commented, it sounded like Facebook wanted to take a break too. Evidently did. Facebook was like, "Hey, dude, this stream needs a break." And I was like, "Okay." So yes, a new stream has begun. A new stream has begun. I'm back here throwing boxes. We have a mountain of cardboard back here that we got to break down and recycle. But in the meantime, we are just piling it up back here. Let me, I'm trying to find the next half off bin because we have sold all this. And now everybody thinks that we're going to go till later. We're not. We might even stop earlier because I was very hungry. And when I was sitting up there, I realized how sleepy I was. I could have easily put my head down and fell asleep. So, video was still jacked. Really? Is it working? Was there some new claims? Uh-oh, I reset the feed. I might need to go rewatch. Uh-oh. Let me go pull up. Here, I still got YouTube. I can probably see it over here. So, was there any other claims? Callus, Doughboys, Black. Okay, Jeremy Bryant. There we go. There's two. Was there anything else? Because I had to. I erased well, it's not erased. I just had to go back and find it. And what did Jeremy just say? The Black Country. Yeah. All right. So these are sold to Rebecca, Callus, Doughboys, and Jeremy Bryant on Black Country. And let me see if there was anything else. I don't see anything else. Okay, so we're good. So that's the only two claims. And Laura or anybody else, if I remember anything, let me know. I don't know what happened. Facebook just crashed when I went up front to take a break to grab something to eat because I was low energy Chad. But I have, we're going to do a quick couple hours here, or not a, let me take that back. We're going to do about a quick hour here of CDs, but we're going to do one more crate of vinyl to put a finishing touch on tonight's sale. I have got to move some of this stuff out of the way, though. John's got stuff stacked over here just completely in my zone here. And we got to finish going through these computer games, too. Okay? So... let's do it. This might be a great half-off crate to go through right here from Paul. Maybe an old Paul half-off crate. So let's do it. Video does not work on Twitch. Anybody else? It may just be yours, Paul. Everybody else is fine, it looks like. All right, let's do a half off vintage crate right quick, and then I'll be here for a couple hours. We're gonna try to sell a bunch of CDs, hopefully. Here we go. Genesis Foxtrot for $10. Genesis Foxtrot, $10. A Euro import, vintage copy, no condition notes for $10. Genesis. Jimi Hendrix, First Rays of the New Rising Sun. The original numbered edition from 2010. Jimi Hendrix, now just $20. Half off, $20. We have Capital City Rockets. That is a white label promo. Price is $5. Capital City Rockets, $5 on that. Blue Cheer, a 2007 reissue, $10. Susie on Jimi Hendrix, Patrick Lear second. Let's try to show the rest of these computer games too. I want to, because I know the couple people who bought most of them are watching right now, probably, and we can show the rest, and that way I can officially post them elsewhere. Wow, the Rolling Stones is now just $10 and it's sealed. It's an Amazon Music exclusive 180 gram blue vinyl for $10. And then Thinking of You, Robert the Duke Tillman. That's a 92 US Gospel Funk Soul for $7.50. And the Teen Queens, The Birth of Rock and Roll. The Teen Queens is an 84 US comp sealed for $5. And the Pretenders 2 is $10. This is a half off bin. Lionel Richie, Dancing on the Ceiling, has a promo Motown sticker. That is now $7.50. And Zydeco over here on our Hooli. Zydeco is now $10. Patrick Lear on the Gospel. That was Robert the Duke Tillman. Yep, that's so to Patrick Lear. Thank you. And we have Johnny Cash. And that is a 2022, now half off. Wow, you don't see that record too often in a half off. $17.50 now. Over here, we have William Meadows and Lionel Richie. Stephen Parton picking up the Johnny Cash. Chris Knapp on Teen. And that's the Teen Queen, so to Chris Knapp. Also over here is Pete Townsend, Empty Glass, and that does have the song, Let My Love Open the Door. $7.50 on Pete Townsend. Nice. Alice Cooper, gold vinyl, easy action reissue for just $15. Wow, $15 on Alice Cooper, gold vinyl. Let me see what I have left over here in the computer games in the next crate. Let's grab these and these. Let's see what we got here. I'm going to try to do a video on these tomorrow. All right. First is Alice Cooper, and that's so to Stephen Parton, and Rebecca was second. And by the way, Laura, when I checked my phone during the break, she did send me Thursday night Metal Night previews. We've got Impulse and Ozzy and Nasty Savage and Marilyn Manson and Ozzy and Entombed and Merciful Fate and Ozzy and Cinderella and Carcass and Tool and Guns N' Roses and Pantera and Metallica and SOD and Black Sabbath and Metal Church and Y&T and Faster Pussycat and Cradle of Filth and who is this up here? I'm not for sure. And then Motley Crue and Iron Maiden and Motorhead and MOD and Napalm Death and In Flames and Heaven and Hell and Iron Maiden and Children of Bodom and Merciful Fate and the Alice in Chains Deluxe box set of Facelift and Halloween and Machine Head and Gojira. And also we have, I got some deep cuts here. I don't know who that is. Bell Witch, Winger, Man of War, Dangerous Toy, Mayhem, Gruesome. That's Gruesome, isn't it? No. Exhumed, maybe. And then Tsunami and something else. Plus, I got all kinds of other stuff over here that I advertised earlier. Holy no, another slobber knocker. Yep. The Rolling Stones is a 2023 mono blue vinyl for $10. All those will be sold at auction right back here tomorrow starting at 5:30. We will start the show, and some of that stuff will be going up for auction. A lot of those won't hit until 7, and they'll be up for auction all night long. Caravan and the new Symphonia. Caravan is a 74 US for $7.50. Also, Eddie Hallman, I Love You. Eddie Hallman is a 69 US. That's now just $10. Also, Backdoor, and Backdoor is a 73 white label promo jazz rock album, EX $9. Greg, if you don't want the Stones, then Robert does, and Greg says he'll take it. Sorry, the Facebook feed died earlier. We're on a whole different stream. I hope other people aren't like watching that same frozen screen waiting for me to come back from my break because we are now officially rolling again. Blues Image, that is now $11.50. It's a 69 Terra Hope for $11.50. Also over here, we got Kinks. Face to Face was Sunday afternoon. It's got some writing on the back cover. It is a USOG mono, though, VG 1250. So this should be on a tricolor Steamboat label to be a true OG mono. It is, and now it's just $12.50. Let me show a few computer games right quick. These are all priced as marked. Got some cool looking stuff here. First thing is Command & Conquer, Kane's Wrath. Command & Conquer is $6.99. Max Payne, I played that on a lot of different stuff. Mostly Xbox, but there's Max Payne for $9.99. We got Marvel Ultimate Alliance. That is $24.99. And then also we got Dark Star 1. And Dark Star 1 is $9.99. Next over here is Kinky. And the Kinky record is going to sold to Stephen Parton, and that's the Kinks. And then Paul Brothers on Ultimate Alliance. That's sold to Paul Brothers. Thank you on that. Next over here is Ian Gillan Band. Scarabus. Ian Gillan Band is VG plus $7.50. Also, Phil Collins, No Jack Required. Studio, EX $9. There's a girl that's been on my mind all the time. Her name is Studio. We have Mike Theodore Orchestra, High on Mad Mountain. A 79 US Disco, EX $6.50. And Red, White, and Blues Image. Red, White, and Blues Image is actually on a white label promo. VG condition, $6 on Blues Image. Very interesting. I can tell we're in a Paul crate. Now just $17.50. This was $34.99. It's a 2004 reissue. And this is VG plus $34.99. It's called Stud Cole. Stud Cole, I think is what this build. And he said, there's a note on the back from Paul. The OGs are extremely expensive. Let's see what kind of music this is. Let's go over here to Discogs and check this out right quick. Usually if I pull up the Discogs entry before somebody claims it, I can find OGs over here. Stud Cole. So there's only one for sale on Discogs for $4,500. This is a garage rock, rockabilly psych rock album. And the only other pressings were in 2004. And this is one of them. And at $17.50, this is a great deal. They start at $30, and the last one sold was $31. You're getting this about half a market. The median on that record's $46.51. Wow. Great deals. I mean, if you're hearing half off, and you're talking about the Paul and Laura and any other pre-owned crates we have, if you hear me say vintage, we're going through a vintage crate. I'm talking about stuff half off of market typically. So, you know, anything in here marked is going to be at a great price. Travis Woods on Phil Collins, Patrick Lear on Stud Cole, especially on the bizarre and unusual stuff that we definitely have to go to Discogs for. You know, a lot of that stuff, you know, we just like, we have to check it over there. And so now it's being marked half off. All right, here is Serpent Isle, another PC game. Wow, $200 on that one. $199.99. That one's called Serpent Isle. That's Ultima 567. And then this is Privateer. It's $24.99. Privateer. So we have Ultima 8, Serpent Isle, and Privateer. And Ultima 8 is $200. Chris Knapp next on Stud. Michael Butler on Blues Image. Thank you on that. We have John and the Night Riders, Surf Beat 80, 1981 US. And this is Nikki Sixx, pre-Motley Crue. EX, $8.50. Or maybe, not maybe pre-Motley Crue, maybe just Nikki Sixx appears on here in some way. I'm not for sure. But there's a note on the back from Paul that says Nikki Sixx. Diamond Rio, Rough Cuts. That's not like Rio, R-I-O. That's like REO, like Diamond REO, like REO Speedwagon. VG 750. I didn't pull Blues Image. I didn't? I did. Blues Image. So to Michael Butler. Wait, you might have wanted the other one. There's two in here. You wanted this one. There's another Blues Image too. That's Blues Image too. And then over here is Diamond. My bad. So you wanted the white label promo. Okay, and then we got Lakeshore Drive, Alolita Haynes Jeremiah. Exactly, VG for $10. And Incredible Live, Country Joe. Country Joe Live, VG Plus, $6. What else is over here? There's only 3 games left in here, and then we got a bunch more in the next one. Awesome. So what are the next 3 I have here? I've got Dragon Age Origins Awakening. That is $6.99. And we have Soldier of Fortune. There's no price on that one. And this is Revenant. Revenant. $9.99 on that. Privateer is So DePaul Brothers. Thank you. Diamond goes to Rebecca. You didn't say my name out loud. Okay. Let me fix that then. Rebecca gets the Diamond REO. Okay. Next thing over here is Ozone Park. The Ohio State University Jazz Ensemble. EX $9. Art Tatum Masterpieces. EX $8.50. Texas Boogie Blues. VG Plus $10. Coliseum Daughter of Time. VG minus $5. And Mickey Hart. You may know him from the Grateful Dead. This is one of his solo albums. $11.50. Rolling Thunder. Not bad whatsoever. Gary Wellman on Texas. So did Gary Wellman. That was a fun half-off crate. Looked like it was some remnants of what was left after we went through a Paul crate a couple times. That's why I went ahead and marked them half off. And let's try those one more time. One more time, okay? We have Genesis Foxtrot. No condition notes, $10, because we have 50 more people watching now than when I started this crate. So Genesis is $10. We have Capital City Rockets, which is a white label promo sticker, $5 on that. Blue Cheer. Now, this is a reissue. Most of their albums are pretty desirable. They're all desirable, in my opinion, especially their first couple, I would say. That's a reissue, super clean. They're also notorious for being beat the heck. So not bad at all for $10. There was a Country Joe right here. It almost looks like a bootleg, but it's an official press. It's called Incredible Live, Country Joe. It's an official pressing from Vanguard, his label. VG Plus, $6 on that. VG Plus, $6. We have The Pretenders. That is now $10, The Pretenders. Zydeco, and that's on the Pretty Collectible or Hooli label. A lot of blue stuff on that one. In shrink, super nice copy, 10. Country Joe Live, so did Gary Wellman. Also, Pete Townsend, Empty Glass. Usually when I mention that song, Let My Love Open the Door, he gets grabbed, but there's Pete Townsend. He was also in a band called The Who as the lead guitarist. He also sung a little, wrote most of the music. Zydeco is so does Stephen Parton. Next is Caravan and the New Symphonia. That's $7.50. And Eddie Holloman, I Love You, $10. That Studco also listed on eBay. Yeah, that's Craig Moorer. His name's Craig Moorer, Records by Mail. He's been selling on eBay since like the early 90s, the mid-90s, whenever eBay became a thing. He's been on eBay for, I guess, 20 years now, probably longer, 30 years. How long has he been on eBay? I guess that's 30 years. Yeah, Craig Moorer. His stuff is always, if he has something rare, he slaps a price on it, and he just waits for somebody to buy it. And I've seen stuff for years with the same price on it, and he don't really come down much. I don't know much about that operation, but they have a lot of rare stuff sometimes. Preston Rose on Caravan. Gary Wellman was second. Price for Peter Townsend, $7.50. That's the half-off price. And by the way, we are in a half-off bin, no more, no less. Backdoor. That's EX for $9, Backdoor, and Ian Gillan Band, VG Plus $7.50. Anytime I'm looking up rare 45s and I'm trying to find comps, he usually has one on Discogs or eBay. He's kind of like, I guess, like Tefteller or whoever. They just kind of deal in like rare stuff. You know, they've been online for, you know, like, just think, we've built this incredible following after a solid 4-6 years of selling. Imagine if you're on there for like 30 years selling, how many people you got following your page and looking for rare records. So it just takes time to find all those, and probably people contact them and be like, hey, I've got a record collection for sale. I've collected nothing but rare 45s. Do you want to buy them from me? And that's how they get all that stuff. Hopefully we get those phone calls. Hey, Chad, I've got 10,000 rare 45s, all Northern Soul, Funk Soul, Garage, Jazz. Or actually, rare 45s would be soul, psych, garage, rockabilly. I'd be like, yes, we want them. Ian Gillen, so did Gary Wellman. Ed Riviera second. Peter House does take Pete Townsend, thank you. Also over here, we got the Mike Theodore Orchestra, High on Mad Mountain. EX650. I think I bought something from that account one time. It was maybe like a rare Cat Stevens import. I told you, I went on this Cat Stevens run one time trying to buy all this like bizarre rare stuff because he has some stuff that's like not released in U.S. I had to buy. Maybe that's what I bought from him. So John and the Night Riders is $8.50. Blues Image, and that's EX1150. That's the 69 Terre Haute OG. Next is Lakeshore Drive. That's VG for $10. And Ozone Park, that's EX for $9. We have Art Tatum Masterpieces. Any jazz fans? EX, a gatefold, 2LP, still in shrink, $8.50. Coliseum, Daughters of Time. And it is VG minus, but I think Coliseum goes in that category of like rock, maybe borderline psych rock. $5 on that. Gary Wellman on Blues Image, sold. William Drugovich on, William Drugovich on Night Riders. Sold. And Donna on Art Tatum. I was waiting for you to claim that, or somebody else that usually buys those. Mickey Hart, kind of surprised. $11.50, Rolling Thunder. That's a Grateful Dead related album, and it's still available. All right, here's a few more. Are they CDs or PC games? Oh, I thought these were more PC games. These are CDs. Yeah. Okay, my bad. Well, I'll go ahead and show them. Generators plugged and good to go. Eric Van Leuven on Mickey Hart. Thank you. Not much left in there. I'm sure we can do a bundle and wipe those out. How about a quick handful of CDs right quick? Because I thought these were PC games. So let me move. We might have shown all the PC games then. Let me do a double take. There's little crates and boxes around here. We also bought an incredible Funko Pop collection. Like there's 4 or 5 gigantic Lowe's boxes over here with out of print and rare Funkos. We bought Paul, somebody dropped them off and Paul shot them an offer and we bought them. So they're stacked up over here everywhere. I hadn't even mentioned it, but eventually I'll start, bringing them out and showing them during the sale. All right, here's a quick handful of CDs right quick because I've already got them over here. These are all $6.99. Railroad Earth, The Good Life, Black Grape, It's Great When You're Straight, In the Idiom, Randy Brecker, Craig Chakiko, Acoustic Highway, Cyrus Chestnut, Cyrus Plays Elvis, Larry Carlton, Four Hands and a Heart, Volume 1. And this is Melanie Cannon, promotional advance copy. Jackie Reynolds is going to grab the Coliseum. Let's bundle the rest of this crate then. Jim Brickman by heart. Bourgeois Tag, Yo-Yo. 3 Inches of Blood. Here Awaits Thy Doom. Cyrus Chestnut, Earth Stories. And Chris Hicks, Dog Eat Dog World. Sealed for $6.99. The new album from Marshall Tucker's lead guitarist. Looks like it's some stuff we marked looks like stuff Paul marked like 2 years ago almost. I don't know. He might have found them like by his off desk or something. I've got one good box of CDs here. When we officially go into CD mode, I'll start trying to work them in though here in as we go through this next crate of vinyl. Okay. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And there's a few deep cuts, but then there's a couple big, platinum selling bands like the Pretenders, and Genesis is still in there, but that's only 9 records, right? 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. 9, right? 9. 9. So if we do those, what was the half off prices? 9, 10, 650, 9, 10, 10, 10, 5, and 10. So if we do them for 5 and say $45, because I feel like if I put these in a $6.99 crate, they would sell at $7 a piece, which would be $56. If I say $5 a piece, if you buy the last 9, that's $45. That's where I'm at on those. If not, I'll transfer them over to the morning flip crate for $6.99. Think about it while I'm looking for the next crate, okay? I have stepped away. Let me move this empty crate. Oh, I think I have found it. Yeah, I've been trying to get to this one for a while, but it's took me about a week to sell off CDs, PC games, and other half-off records to get to them. William Drugovich says he'll take them. Awesome. That might be his second bundle of the night. William, good deal. Thank you. I mean, my thoughts on those was, well, those are pretty bizarre titles that would do good in a $6.99 crate on those. Funkos. Peter, the shipping crew here are stone cold professionals at packing that stuff. We have sold thousands of Funkos. They are very good about packing them. They're going to probably wrap them in bubble wrap. They have to go in bigger boxes with vinyl. But I promise, if you buy one, Steve and G and Ed, they are stone cold professionals at packing that stuff. We had a guy in Alaska when we closed out Christmas deals at the end of last year. We had a guy in Alaska buy nearly 200 Funkos. His postage nearly broke me. I don't know if I even made any money on the deal because I was only charging them $8 and they had to wrap them in bubble wrap and dividers and cardboard and boxes and boxes. And amazing. But so when we order Funkos new from our distributors, they come in boxes and we save them. And they're almost like little mini protectors. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So when they get in Funkos, when we get in Funkos new, because we order them new from our distributors, they look like this. Any more Fred 50s compilations? Not that I can get to them right now, unless there's some more. Ghost, by the way, $14.99. Ghost, Papa Emeritus IV. And then I've got a couple of them. I've got 3 of them. And then here's the Riddler for $24.99. And I got to look up the price. This is actually a really cool item. I got to look up the price on it. But yeah, they ship us Funkos in these boxes here. So that's really good what they... So when we get them new from distribution, they're in boxes like that with paper. But they also have individual ones. They have little single boxes. So I've got 3 ghosts there. I don't know if I've shown those too many times. Susie said she'll take 1. Anybody else? There's 2 more left. Yeah, these are great boxes. I think this company might have them made just for, like, that's if you got to ship 3 Funkos. That's a perfect, like, we've got these everywhere in the back. We got little containers, or we got containers full of the little ones, the single shots, because we sell so many. All right, where was that crate at? Let's do some more. All right. Aussie Funko. We sold a whole case of those, which I think is 72. About, what, a year ago when they came out, we sold a whole case of those. My best-selling Funko of all time is Eddie Van Halen. By far. And this next crate, folks, has some great stuff in it. This is why you want to stay up late. This is the kind of crate that will make you come back for tomorrow, okay? This kind of crate, this is the one you'll be thinking about while you're trying to sleep, and you're going to be like, golly, I got to get some rest. Got to get back to watch Chad tomorrow night when he does another crate like this. This is the kind of one you're going to be like at work tomorrow thinking, gosh, hurry up. I got to get off from work. I got to get home. I got to get ready to watch Chad because he's going to be doing half-off crates like this late at night. He starts to lose his mind. He gets tired. He gets delirious. He gets hungry. He starts doing stupid stuff. And that's just what happens. Chris Kirkley's about to go to Alaska. Awesome. That's on my extended bucket list. I have probably several more stops first. Unless Metallica says they're playing a show up there. Tom Petty Live, Pack Up the Plantation. OG, No Condition Notes, $17.50. Madonna, The Immaculate Collection. Now $17.50, a 2022 LP compilation. Willie Nelson, Live at Budokan, a sealed record store day release for $15. And we have Sufjan Stevens, Seven Swans, a 2004 USOG for just $20. Whoa! What is going on? Whoa. Holy moly. So first thing we have is Stephen Parton on Madonna. That's so to Stephen Parton. Next thing is Bark Knoxville. Dale gets Tom Petty. And that has filled up our 9th crate. Before I tag anything else, let me go ahead and start a new tower of sold vinyl over here, because by the time we go through this, we'll be ready for probably another empty crate. All right, so let me slide this down. And let me slide this down. And now we have another full crate. Selling the heck out of some vinyl tonight. I love it. I live and breathe it. I live and breathe that Philadelphia freedom. Down, 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 down. I know. Okay. Next thing is, all right, so we sold Madonna, we sold Tom Petty. Adam Bernardi on 7. That was for Sufjan Stevens, right? Adam Bernardi. And then Gary Wellman first on Willie, second on Tom Petty. And we're good to go. We're good to go. Yep. All right, so let's keep rolling. This is called Touche L'Amour Lament. Post-hardcore album for $9. That is available. So is Margot Price Strays. That's on pink looking vinyl here for $7.50. And Triangle by the Beau Brummels. That's a blue vinyl mono reissue. The Beau Brummels, $9. Wow. Led Zeppelin at a half off bin for $14. What is going on? And we have Unusual Animals Volume 2. It's an alternative rock album for $5. The Castants Dirty Projectors. I'm not for sure what that's actually billed, but there it is. All right, and then we have a Lullaby. What is a Lullaby? A Labubu. And then next is Rebecca said she'll take this right here. So to Rebecca. And then next thing is Mark Stanley on Led Zeppelin. So to Mark Stanley. And then we have Gary Wellman on Beau Brummel's Triangle. Shannon next on Led Zeppelin. And also here we have Swaps. It's an experimental rock album. Green vinyl. Swaps is $5. $5 on that. Also, Curiosity Killed the Cat. That's a synth pop album for $7.50. And Wham! Music from the Edge of Heaven. Music from the Edge of Heaven. Gold stamp promo for $15. And Swaps is sold to Michael Reed. Thank you on that. All right. So, let me move these out of the way. Next is Traffic. And Traffic is a 2021 pressing for $10. Gary Wellman's next on Swaps. And we have Queen, Sheer Heart Attack. Queen is EX Condition, $15. Queen on this Butterfly Electric label for $15. Are you kidding me? So still left unclaimed is Queen, Traffic, Wham! Curiosity Killed the Cat. That and Margot Price. Also, Heart Magazine. It's a picture disc. VG Condition, $7.50. And Bodine's EX Condition, $7.50. Bodine's EX, $7.50. Did I show these already? I'm not really for sure. I'm going to read through the rest of these CDs. There's all those Joe Jacksons. These might have been shown before. I've got a great system going to make sure we never show any of these CDs a second time, but I do have some over here. I just don't really know. Burt Jordan on Queen. Burt Jordan on Queen, thank you. That's sold to you for $15. Over here, we got Ringo the Fourth. Ringo Starr is VG Condition, $6.50. Fiesta. And Fiesta is a funk solo album, VG Plus, $6.50 on Fiesta. It does have the original on her sleeve and hop sticker. Whoop. Ghost Funkos just fell over back there. And over here, we have Pat Benatar, Wide Awake in Dreamland. Pat Benatar is $7.50. Blondie, Eat to the Beat, and Blondie's EX 1150. And next here is Buffalo Springfield, which is a mono remaster of Buffalo Springfield again for just $15. Every CD I'm about to show you right here are all $6.99. The soundtrack to Swing Kids, Volunteer Jam Classic Live Performances Volume 1, Nancy Griffin, Blue Roses from the Moons, Wind Riders, Native American flute compositions by various artists, the soundtrack to Fame, the soundtrack to Flashdance, and the soundtrack to the movie Michael. Those are all $6.99 each on those. Next is Gary Wellman on Pat Benatar. Gary Wellman gets Pat Benatar. That's sold. Next over here was Stephen Parton on Buffalo Springfield, and then Adam Bernardi was second. Greg Beddinger next on Pat, and Jerry Rock on Blondie. Okay, I need to definitely clean up my table a little bit. Let me move some of this miscellaneous stuff out of the way right quick. Let me put all those right there. Let me put those there. And then Sherry Darnell on Michael. And that might have been one of our first CD claims. This is down here on the bottom, right? Yeah, Michael. That is sold right here. That is done, okay? Michael sold to Sherry Darnell. And then we have The Feminine Divine and Dexy's Classics Live. That's Dexy's Midnight Runner, a 3LP white vinyl for $20. That is sold. And we have Live in Japan, Rodrigo y Gabriela. And this is a 2019 red vinyl. Sounds great, $17.50. Note on the back from Paul says, sound great. The disc in Flashdance looks like that. Looks like it's a German press, made in West Germany. Wow. Luau George, Thanks I'll Eat It Here. $5 on Lowell. And we have Steel Breeze, and that is an A2 hard rock album. $7.50 on that. And Still I Span, $5 on Still I Span. I'm going to go ahead and take this stack of sold stuff in here right quick. Get a new row started on this table. What's in this box? Is there CDs in this box? I'm like a scavenger sometimes back here looking for CDs. A CD, where's the next box? CDs. Where's the CDs at? Y'all see any CDs? Y'all got any CDs over here? Where's the CDs at? CDs? Y'all see any CDs? I'm constantly asking Paul and John. Y'all see any CDs? Hey, y'all got any CDs over here? Yo, I'm looking for some compact disc. Y'all got any? Yo, where's the disc at? Phantom Canuck on Flashdance. That's sold. Thank you. And then Jackie Reynolds on Steel. Was that for Still I Span or Steel Breeze? Steel Breeze or Still I Span, Jackie? Your dibs. Next is Tchaikovsky. Exactly. Swan Lake. This is sealed. Wow. So it was marked $74.99. It's an $89 Canadian import. Now $37.50. That's a RCA Victor Red Seal 3LP classical box set for $17.50. That could be pretty good, especially if it's demanding that kind of money sealed. A few more CDs. Nashville, the music of Nashville. Music from the motion picture D Lovely. And Jay Giles Band Bloodshot. Those are all available for $6.99. Sherry takes Swan Lake. Jackie Reynolds is going to let me know if she wanted Still I Span or Steel Breeze. And she wanted the hard rock Steel Breeze. That's so to Jackie. Thank you. And then finishing up this half off bin, we got the Werewolves. And the Werewolves is $7.50. Also, Stillwater. I reserve the right. Stillwater is sealed for $7.50. We have Rockin' Horse, and Rockin' Horse is $7.50. Iron Butterfly, Inagata Davida, $7.50. Clean copy. No condition notes on that. Andy Lane wants the Rodrigo y Gabriela. That's sold to Andy Lane. Michael Reed on Iron Butterfly, sold to Michael Reed. Also, the Robert Cray Band, False Accusations, VG condition, $5. Kauilupa, Y'all come. A 68 psych record. Calliope. That's pronounced Calliope. VG 750 for Kalalupa. And then we have Buck Acre, and that's VG Plus for $6. Greg Beddinger next on Iron Butterfly. Stephen Parton on Stillwater. That's so to Stephen Parton. And Gentle Giant, Giant for a Day, VG Plus $750. Andy Lay on Cray. Robert Cray sold to Andy Lane. Over here, we got Mott the Hoople. Mott, VG Plus $750. Burt, Stillwater's already sold. Nielsen, The Point. With the booklet and the insert, EX edition, $11.50 on Nielsen. We have The Move, a message from the country. The Move is VG $6, and The Move features an artist known as Jeff Lynne. You may know him from a band called ELO. $6 on that. Also, Ars Nova, VG Plus $750. Ars Nova, VG Plus $750 on that. And a little bit of soul, The Music Explosion, nice. VG $750. There it is. Michael Butler on The Move. Interesting one there. So to Michael Butler. Sherry next on Stillwater. And Jay Giles Band, Nightmares. Original under sleeve, VG Plus $750 on Jay Giles Nightmares. We have Noah, Paceman's Farm. That's VG Plus $750. The Inner Mystique of the Chocolate Watch Band. Wow, this is an essential psych record here. Chocolate Watch Band is VG Plus $10. William Drugovich on ME. And ME for William Drugovich was the Music Explosion right here. Yes. So to William Drugovich. And Bark Knoxville on CW. And why is my finger itching? CW was Chocolate Watch Band. That's so to Bark Knoxville. And then Bob Dylan is EX 1150. And we have Mott the Hoople, and this is VG Plus, $7.50. All the young dudes carry the news. There it is. Why is my thumb itching? Does that mean something? I mean somebody's talking about me? Who's talking about me out there? Who's talking about me? Whatever you're saying, I could care less. VG Plus, $7.50. And next thing was, so Chocolate Watch Band sold to Dale, and then Gary was next, and then Patrick Lear was next. Stephen Parton on Mott the Hoople. And then over here, Chris Knapp on Chick. And Chick, C-H-I-C, Chick. Is there a Chick Corea in here? Well, what was Chick? Chick. And then Gary Wellman got Mott the Hoople. No, Stephen Parton got Mott the Hoople. Wait a minute. There's two Mott the Hooples. I'll take both. Okay. Both sold to Stephen. Then Chris, then Gary. Okay? Means you're coming in the money. Well, I'm selling records, so something's happened. It feels like right in there. Typo. Okay. Susie has dropped her phone on my face several times. She's fallen asleep. Chocolate. Oh, chocolate. Okay, sorry, you was a little late on that one. All right, let's read through those again. Wow, took a big, the crate was pretty much full when I set it up here. And guess what? That's all that's left. And I bet one more nice, thorough, fast, and furious read-through, we might can take out another chunk of those. That's why I'm here. If somebody says, Chad, what do you do for a living? I say, I take chunk out of crates. And then I empty them. And then we refill them. And then we sell them again. Of course, this is my late night nonsense. This is the stuff that, like I said, I should have like some kind of gorilla come out and attack me anytime I'm about to do this. Nonsense. Might be the last one. However, we got Margot Price. We got Margot Price for $7.50. That's still available. It's called Strays. Live at Grimey's. Limited edition. Sangria marble vinyl for $7.50. Over here, we have Unusual Animals, Volume 2. There is an actual photograph of Seth. That is $5. Over here, we have Curiosity Killed the Cat. That's a 12-inch single. Synth Pop, $7.50. Over here, Wham! Music from the Edge of Heaven. Gold stamp promo for $15. Wow, George Michael and Wham, $15. Full album. Full album. Traffic, Feeling All Right. Steve Winwood, $10. Craig Wants the Animals. That is so to Craig. just because it looks like Seth on the cover. That's sold for $5. Done. Michael Reed on GG. That was probably for Gentle Giant from earlier. I don't think I've had any other GGs here. GG? No. Gentle Giant, sold to Michael Reed. Heart Magazine. This is an original picture disc. This is an original picture disc. It's numbered, a low number, 57,325 of 100,000. $7.50. Bodine's EX 750. Bodine's 1986. Great year. I don't know why I'm saying that, but just maybe somebody will buy it because of that. Ringo the Fourth. He was in a band called The Buttles. This is VG $6.50. That's when he had a couple albums on Atlantic. Fiesta, VG Plus $6.50, a funk soul album. Also, Dexys. I figured somebody would have grabbed this. A full performance of the latest studio album of The Feminine Divine, alongside a career-spanning selection of Dexys classics. Interesting. So that is $20. It's on white vinyl. It's a 3 LP. Jerry Rock on Heart. That's sold to Jerry Rock. Thank you. Bodine's has no condition notes, right? Yeah, no condition notes. EX, my bad. It is EX condition. EX condition on that. Luau George, folks. Luau. You may know him from a band called Little Feat. Somebody signed his... Oh, I thought that was his chest hair. It's somebody signed their name. $5 on that. Also, we got Still I Span, Rocket Cottage. It's a cottage that's been attached to a rocket ship. It's only $5, Rocket Cottage. Some interesting characters there on the back. Werewolves, $7.50, available. Rockin' Horse, self-titled, $7.50. David Hoy on the Dexys here. Thank you. $20. Done. This is pronounced Ka La Eope. And that's VG for $7.50. Rebecca on Werewolves. Gary Wellman on Still I Span. Nice. Buck Acre. VG Plus, $6 on Buck Acre. Nielsen, The Point. EX, $11.50. Gatefold, booklet, and insert. Wham. That is, I believe, the second album by Wham. Music from the Edge of Heaven. Original inner sleeve. George Michael and that other guy. And there's no condition notes. It's a gold stamp promo. And it's $15. That's the half off price. Adam Bernardi on Bodine's. He says he'll take it. Steve Riley, you got dibs on Wham. Ars Nova. And that's the name of the album and the artist. Ars Nova. It's on electric gold label. VG Plus $7.50. Steve Riley on Wham. Done. Sold. You know, the three tenors and Pavarotti, Domingo, and the other guy. That's what I do every time I see that Wham album. I'm like George Michael and that other guy. Jay Giles, Nightmares. VG Plus $7.50. Noah, Paceman's Farm. A white label promo. The artist is called Noah. ABC Dunhill promo. $7.50. And then Mr. Dylan, Robert Zimmerman, some people know him as. Special thanks for helping out. Bob Ludwig. Thank you, Bob Ludwig. Let's see if this has RL in the dead wax. EX 1150. RL in the dead wax. What did Bob Ludwig do? Did he cut this one? I don't see RL in the dead wax. I don't know if I've ever seen a Columbia record, though, with RL in the dead wax. EX 1150. Sorry, I went to La La Land reading the back of that jacket. EX 1150. Robert Zimmerman. Anybody else before we offer those as a bundle? Okay? I would love to bundle these with somebody. So if you had your finger on the trigger, you might want to, because after I start counting these, we might strike a deal with somebody on everything, folks. Everything. And they could be gone And then you're going to wake up in the morning. And don't make me go through this whole spiel, but you know where this is going. You're going to wake up in the morning. You're going to be like, dang, why didn't I get that Bob Dylan album? It was right there in front of me. I had all the time in the world. And then somebody else goes and takes it. And now it's gone. And Michael Ruttman on Nielsen sold. Anybody else before I start counting these? Because we have had every bundle tonight has sold. Adam Bernardi he does not want to regret that in the morning. He doesn't want to wake up in a few hours with a stomach ache going, oh gosh, it was right there and I let it go. All right, so here's everything that's left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's 12 records there. Mix Amy on Fiesta. Okay? And Still I Span's already gone, Bill. That's already sold. Gary Willman got Dylan Fiesta. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Wow, that's going to be some interesting. That's going to be some interesting stuff. 11 albums. Let's sell them. Who wants them? $45. $45 divided by 11 is $4.09 a piece. Are you kidding me? If not, I'll put them in the $6.99 crate tomorrow, and they will sell for that for sure. Your pick. Right now at $4.09 each, $45. William says, give them to me. That's his third bundle of the night. I almost feel like we need to bring out the air horn, the little tiny one over here that spits out smoke. I've got one over here that's like a fog machine. It's really interesting. I might want to bring it out just to show y'all again. And we have emptied another crate. Holy moly. Whoa. Wow. Done. Bill Keenum says they're mine. No, they're William Drugovich's. You were close, though. You get the silver medal. Look at this little air horn I got. It's almost like a fog machine. You'll see what I'm talking about in just a second. It's still pretty loud, so I'm going to put on my headphones so I don't, have a headache. Bill's name might actually be William. His name is Bill, isn't it? All right, here we go. This is a funny one here. Boy, that's cold. That is ice cold now. That's crazy. Whatever chemical reaction just happened. Whatever science just took place there, I guess the compression of something released by something, moved by something, some kind of particles are rotating, causing that to get really cold. I mean, it feels like it just came out of the freezer. Got any doctors on here that can explain that? Supposed to shake them? Maybe not. This is Sandshark Premium Boat Products. Flammable. Contents under pressure. Only tighten horn until snug. Hold upright. Do not tilt. Do not shake or turn can upside down before or during use. For signal, depress the top button. Do not sound near ear. Spray in short, even burst. When air supply is diminished, simply detach the horn and attach another refill canister. Horn may be even without loss of gas. There we go. Equals MC squared. Yeah, that energy just went somewhere else. Energy was not lost there. It went to somewhere else. It went from air to sound to can to airwaves to my ears to a headache. Okay. One more crate of vinyl? Who's on board? One more crate of vinyl? Who's on board? Oh, no. I'll start slowly working in CDs, okay? I might show some CDs, show some, etc. Can feel my heart beat faster. Take me home tonight. I got one. Hold on. Yep, I got one. Let's do it. Take me home tonight. An air duster? That might be a new term to me, an air duster. Oh man, take a look at my life. I'm not like you. I need someone to love me whole day through. I take one look at my life. Tell me. Oh, for the keyboards. Ah, yeah, I know what that is. Canned air. We got that over here too. We built this city on rock and roll. We built Coletco on records and Texas Roadhouse rolls. They use this to dust off y'all's stuff. Do not shake. Do not shake. Yeah, I see it over here all the time. I think they use it to, like, if we get a dusty record, I mean CD case or something. They don't use it on vinyl. A dusty CD or something. Just like that. Yeah. Do not shake. Do not shake. I don't know really what they use it for. That's what I'm assuming. There's so much that goes on around here, I don't even know. My mom will be like, don't you know who was at the store today? And I'll be like, no. All right. This is Ghost Infesticism, new, $33.99. Ghost, new, Infesticism, $33.99. So what we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and start this crate, and we're going to start working in, CDs, okay? But the focus is still heavily on some vinyl here. First thing we have is Gene Clark and Carla Olson. So Rebellious a Lover. Gene Clark, just $10. It's in VG condition. Covers in shrink wrap. Hound Dog Taylor, $12.50. Beware of the Dog. That's on the legendary Alligator Records. That's a 1976 US. $12.50 on Hound Dog Taylor. Mary Watkins, Something Moving. Mary Watkins is a 78 US. $10 on Mary Watkins. Michael Butler on Hound Dog Taylor. That is sold. And we have Waylon Jennings' Greatest Hits. How much? Just $10. Adam Bernardi on Mary. Gary Wellman second on Hound Dog Taylor. We got George Benson, Space. George Benson, just $7.50. CTI and shrink wrap. And we have A Little Night Music, $5. Grog on Waylon Jennings' Greatest Hits. Nice. Sold to Grog. We have Allman Brothers Band and Enlightened Rogues, $10. A brain freeze. I get a brain freeze, a brain crease. My brain gets creased from McDonald's Mocha Frappes. McDonald's Mocha frappes, everybody. Wow, that's what I get a brain crease from. Holy moly. All right, we got Bill Keenum on George Benson. Sold to Bill Keenum on George Benson. We have Herbie Mann, St. Thomas, solid state label. Herbie Mann, just 5 doll hairs. Wow. And Buddy Miles, Bicentennial Gathering of the Tribes. Buddy Miles there is $7.50. Are y'all ready for the first stack of CDs, new CDs tonight that have never, ever, ever been shown before? If so, I hope you're ready. I'm getting them stacked. I'm getting them ready. Next over here in the half-off LPs is Dr. John. Wow. In the right place. A 73 Presswell. How much? Just $7.50 on Dr. John. In the right place. Also, Graham Hine Bottleneck Blues. Graham Hine's a 1970 VG. $10 on that. So first is Gary Wellman on Buddy Miles. And then Phantom Canuck was second on that one. And then Susie on DT. And I think that was for Dr. John. If not, let me know. It was. Then Chris and then Jordan T. These are $6.99. We got Kid Rock, self-titled. Tori Amos, Under the Pink. Under Oath, Define the Great Line. Bon Jovi Crossroads, 14 Greatest Hits. John Mellencamp, Human Wheels. Best of the Doobie Brothers. James Gang, Bang. Somatic Fuzz. And The Ram, Rich Shapiro, Wild Animus. Those are all $6.99. Next is Graham Hines, sold to Michael Butler. Mix Amy on DJ. Dr. John, you were actually 5th in line. William next on Graham. And then Stephen Parton first on Bon Jovi for $6.99. That is sold to Stephen Parton for $6.99. Also on the half-off bin is Maxine Weldon. VG condition, $5 on Maxine Weldon. We have Grady Tate, Moving Day. Grady Tate is VG plus $7.50. Willis Trice, that was at a radio station, WDTH. It's a 74 U.S. blues album, country blues album. VG plus just $5. VG plus just $5. BG's First, always a popular album. A 67 U.S. OG stereo, very Baroque poppy, almost psychedelia. BG's is VG plus $7.50. Next is Stephen Parton on BG. And BG was for, did I already tag that? BG, no, it's right here. Boy, that came in fast. Holy moly, I didn't even have time to think about what I just showed. That's so to Steven, and he let me know. So Steven's delay is like, he's almost faster than being here in the room with me. Willie Trish is sold to Michael Butler, and William Drugovich is next on Willie, and Greg Beddinger on BG's. Yeah, that is so fast. I mean, I usually don't have time to get done reading it. The Chambers Brothers, EX Condition, $6.50. Love, Peace, and Happiness. EX, $6.50. And The Nice with Keith Emerson has a promo stamp on the back. VG Condition, $5 for The Nice. Here comes some more CDs. You may say, Chad, how much are these? And my answer will be this. $6.99. White Snake, Slip of the Tongue. Queensryche, The Sound of Building Empires. Incubus, Make Yourself. Pardon Me when I... Next is The Vault, Classic Rock, Pure Gold Collection. This is Nazaza, Lovers and Killers. This is Rich Arms from the Sea, the Music. Rich and Something Something. John Mellencamp, Whenever We Wanted. Dandelion, Sammy Hagar Unboxed. And Jesus Jones, Doubt. Those are all $6.99. First thing over here is a claim from the crate. Chris Knapp on The Nice. Gary Wellman second on The Nice. And then the first CD claim was with Stephen Parton, Incubus, Pardon Me. And that is sold to Stephen Parton. John Bergenstorm on Whitesnake. Susie on the Classic Rock Gold Collection. Rebecca Howard on Jesus Jones. And then John Bergenstorm on Sammy Hagar. And Susie was next on Sammy Hagar. That leaves Queensryche, NZAZA, that other one, John Mellencamp, and Dandelion. And that is called Dyslexikion. That is available. All right, who got Dr. John? Oh boy, that was a long time ago. Dr. John went to Susie Breedlove. Chris Knapp, you were second. Jordan T was third. And then Mix was fourth. You were second on that one. Next is Fannie Hill. Fannie Hill is now just $12.50, VG condition. Family, anyway. Family's VG plus $6. It wasn't that long ago because I found it pretty fast. I thought that feels like that was 20 minutes ago, but I guess not. Over here, Miss Butters, that's a Psych album from 68. VG plus $12.50. RCA. You'll see a lot of Psych on RCA. Miss Butters, Jefferson Airplane was on RCA. $12.50, The Family Tree by Miss Butters. And then John Miller, How About Me? That's EX 1150. Michael Butler on Miss Butters. Gary Wellman was second. And Love, Forever Changes. It's a reissue of An Unknown Year. It's a modern press. EX $11.50. 180 gram. 180 gram. Modern being at least possibly early 80s because it's got a barcode, just saying. Over here, we got Miss Butters. Adam Bernardi first on Love. Then another Miss Butters, Chris Knapp second on Love. So Miss Butters went to Michael, Adam Bernardi got Love. Speaking of Jefferson Airplane, Crown of Creation, all CDs are $6.99. George Harrison, Cloud 9. Matchbox 20, Mad Season. Ben Folds 5, Whatever and Ever Amen. John Cougar Mellencamp, Scarecrow. Meatloaf, Welcome to the Neighborhood. This is Accelero, It's Like You Mean It. Billy Idol, Vital Idol, Suede. And then Ben Folds Funny 16 and Ben Folds Super D. Those are all $6.99. Those are all $6.99. Stephen Parton on MB, JC, and then another JC. So Michael Butler first on MB, and MB was for... what was your first MB for? MB for Mad Season, maybe? Matchbox 20. Matchbox. Yeah, I always think that's a Mad Season, the band. Matchbox, sorry. And then JC for John Cougar. That is sold to Stephen Parton. Susie was next. Michael Ruttman got Billy Idol. And then Jackie, and that's good to go. So what's left there? Jefferson Airplane, George Harrison, Ben Folds 5, Meatloaf, Accelero, Suede, and 2 more Ben Folds. Back to the half-off LP. We have Joey Skidmore, Bent. And that's a 1998 blues rock, alternate rock on blue vinyl. Just $5 on that. It's called Joey Skidmore. Also, we have Eddie Vincent, Cherry Red Blues. Eddie Vincent is $7.50. Gusto, shrink wrapped. And then over here, we have Mahavishnu Orchestra, $10. Yeah, Michael Butler got Miss Butters, just for any lack of confusion. Michael Butler got Miss Butters. Gary Wellman was second. Bill Keenum was third. And then Love went to Adam Bernardi. Chris Knapp was second. Stephen Parton got Matchbox 20. Stephen Parton got John Cougar. Susie second on John Cougar. Michael first on Billy Idol. Jackie next on Billy Idol. And Rebecca got Joey and Joey Skidmore. So to Rebecca, thank you on that. Next is Charlie Daniels Band live. I think this is a bootleg unofficial on red marble vinyl. Maybe not. It could be official. It's got his big logo over here on it from Mount Juliet, which is right down the road from us right here. Red marble vinyl, $20 on Charlie Daniels. He lived like a stone's throw away from here. Gary Wellman on Charlie Daniels. That's sold to Gary Wellman. Thank you on that. We have M. Tomb, Kiss This World Goodbye. M. Tomb is a 78 US. The note from Paul says, Great Funk and Soul. Great Funk and Soul. M2, Kiss This World Goodbye. That is now $20, half off of $39.99. Fairport Convention, Gladys's Leap. That is $5. Mix Amy on M Tomb. Donna was second on that one. And then what else do we have over here? Little Feet, Down on the Farm. Little Feet is $10. Down on the Farm. Little Feet is available. Down on the Farm. Screaming Females, Singles 2, TOO. Screaming Females is $10. And David Lindley, El Rayo X. David Lindley is $7.50. Also, Med School Blues, Brandon Ayer, and that is $10. Michael Butler on Chambers Brothers. Chambers Brothers? Did I have a Chambers Brothers in here? I did. So did Michael Butler. Thank you. And Rush Hemispheres. There's a but under here. That was censored by Paul, an 85 US. Wow, an 85 U.S. hemispheres, now just $15 on Rush, sold to Stephen Parton. All right, let's grab another handful of CDs over here then. What is the next ones we shall do? Let's do these right here. Okay. CDs coming at you for $6.99. Let me take a few of these off the table right quick. Get me a little bit more breathing room right there. And first is Greg Bedinger's second on Rush. Jane's Addiction, Ritual Delo Habitual. This is Candlebox Lucy. Nightcrawler, Second Nature. Also, Raining Thunder, You Already Know. Gravity Kills. The Very Best and Beyond, A Foreigner. Sleep Well, Sweetheart, See in the Morning EP. The Seventh Season, Liquid Water. Jack Yellow, Thorns of Anger, and NXS Kick. NXS Kick. Need You Tonight. Those are all $6.99. Next over here is Rebecca on Jane's Addiction CD sold. Bill Keenum wants Fairport Convention. That's in the bin. That's sold to Bill Keenum, Fairport Convention. Candlebox is sold to Stephen Parton. Stephen Parton also got Foreigner, and he also got NXS, okay? And that left in that stack, Nightcrawler, Raining Thunder, Gravity Kills, Sleep Well, Sweetheart, Seventh Season, and Jack Yellow. Finishing up this half-off crate, Patrick Lear's heading to bed. Thank you as always. Too Far Gone. That is an 88 Canadian import, sealed for $5. Too Far Gone. We have Roy Harper, One of Those Days in England. Roy Harper is $7.50. Also, Love Studio, EX $9, 82 US. We have It's a Circus World by Axis, a 78 US hard rock, VG Plus 750. Snake Eye, Shape Up or Ship Out, a 1980 Canadian hard rock, VG Plus 1250 on that. Moby Grape, Wow, that's the name of the album, Wow. VG Plus, 1968, first label, $10 on that. And Archetypes, Billie Holiday. Billie Holiday is a white label promo, VG condition, $5. Chris Knapp on Live, he meant love. He put live, but he meant love. Stephen Parton on Moby, that's Moby Grape, so to Stephen Parton. Jackie Reynolds on Axis, so to Jackie Reynolds. Donna on Billie Holiday, sold. Gary Wellman on MG, and MG was for Moby Grape, you were second. Bill Keenum next on Love, and Greg Beddinger next on Billie Holiday. All right, let's read through those again. These are half off, no more, no less. There's been a bunch of interesting stuff in here, but first let's go ahead and flash some CDs right quick. Let's see what we got in here. We have all these for $6.99, including Foreigner Double Vision. The jewel case is cracked, but Foreigner's just $6.99. Candlebox self-titled. Foreigner Agent Provocateur. This is called 12 Stones, Potter's Field. The Cult Ceremony, hadn't seen that in a while. The Bent Scepters, and The Best of Alan Parsons Project, Volume 2. The Best of Alan Parsons Project, Volume 2. Those are all available. And let's read through these one more time. We have Gene Clark and Carla Olson, So Rebellious a Lover. VG condition, $10 on that. A Little Night Music, that's now $5. A Little Night Music, what exactly is this? That's a soundtrack. That's a soundtrack, okay. That's a soundtrack, $5. Gene Clark, legendary Gene Clark. You know, Birds, and usually I demand, when I look at value of autographs, it tells you a lot about the provenance of the artist, and Gene Clark autographs are quite expensive. Dale's Pittsburgh collection had a couple. Talking about like a nice signed Gene Clark album is like $800 to $1,000, you know, expensive. Gene Clark, that is VG for $10. Over here, we have Allman Brothers Band, that's $10. And we have Herbie Mann, St. Thomas, VG Plus $10. William Drugovitz gets the Cult CD, that's so to him. Bill Keenum on Bent, and Bent. Bill Keenum commented the word bent, and that was for, and then Gravity Kills. Was that a CD? The Bent Scepters, yeah, that's a CD. That's so to Bill Keenum, the Bent Scepters. And then we have Acclaimed Gravity Kills from the previous stack, okay? Gravity Kills is right here. This is sold to Antonio Villanueva. You got it. That's sold to him. Moving right along. Next is Maxine Weldon, Right On. VG Condition, $5 from the Mainstream label. Just $5 on that. We have Grady Tate, Moving Day. Grady Tate is VG plus $7.50. Also Fannie Hill, VG for $12.50. And we had Family Anyway. Family VG plus $6. John Miller, How About Me? John Miller was a 74 Piedmont Blues EX 1150. And Eddie Vincent, Cherry Red Blues. Eddie Vincent, $7.50. Also Mahavishnu Orchestra, Birds of Fire, that's $10. Little Feat, Down on the Farm, Little Feat is $10. Also Screaming Females, singles too, $10 on Screaming Females. David Lindley, El Rayo X is $7.50. And then Brandon Ayre, AYRE, a 1980 Canadian private press Psych. It's a full album too. I know it looks like a single, but that's a full album for $10. Can you sell me some time to listen to the music I've bought from you, Chad? Time is a very valuable asset. I wish I could buy 12 hours every day. Too Far Gone, sealed for $5. We have Roy Harper for $7.50. And Snake Eye is VG plus $12.50. I would pay $10,000 for an extra 8 hours every day. Easily. To get stuff done, both business and personal. But you got to manage it wisely. I listen to most of my music on the move. So when I'm here working, if I'm stopped and working at my desk, which is the counter, I'm definitely trying to put on a record because that time is very valuable. I've only got this much time to listen to vinyl, and I do it every day, all day, and I'm in a building with a billion records. So when I stop, I take my dust cover off the turntable, I turn on the amp, I put on a record. It's usually late at night when I'm working on ordering more vinyl. And then during my commute, I used to have a longer commute before I moved, and that would be my time to try to listen to new music, along with listening to new music here, or that. So it's like every day, it's like, okay, I've got this much time to try to listen to all this stuff that I want to listen to, or watch all these TV shows. So I'm constantly trying to figure out, how can I listen to music? I wish I could listen to music during these sales, but copyright prevents that. Time in a bottle, that is a good idea. It wouldn't be a half-off crate unless I offered it as a bundle. Let me show another handful of CDs, though, right quick. And let me do the rest of this box before I go dig out another. And then we're going to finish selling off these shelves. So what do we got here? We got Doobie Brothers, Best of Volume 2. Alan Parsons On Air. We got Foreigner Records, which is like a greatest hits. Violent Films, Added Up, which is a greatest hits. And then we got Friday After Class, The Mad Hatters, and Population 4. Those are all $6.99, okay? Let's offer this. This might have been the last crate of vinyl, just because it's already $12.45, and the rest of the show, I'm going to try to show CDs and maybe even miscellaneous, whatever that could mean. I mean, it could take some time to like get the CDs up here and get them going tonight. We're going to have to go dig them out. I don't have a batch like right here, like poof, let's go. We're going to have to do some digging. Rebecca Howard on Violent Films. And then Michael Butler on the Foreigner Records. Sherry next on Violent Films. And Stephen Parton next on that. Okay? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I'm going to do the same deal. This is going to be great. $6.99 crate blowout, but I'm going to let y'all have it right now if you want them for $90. That's $5 a record, but you got to buy them all. Any new LP collections. Paul left today with Tyler and Henry. He's on a 7 to 10 day buying trip across multiple states. He's already probably committed to buying about 15,000 new albums. A lot of it is high-end recent collections. When I say high-end recent collections, that's stuff that people have collected. So it's really good stuff. You got hordes of records, and you got like where people have collected stuff. Or hey, I got all these records from my uncle. He bought stuff at the garage sales for the last 50 years. This is stuff where people have clean, sleeved, bagged, archived metal, hard rock, punk, jazz, soul, classic rock. I think it's going to be some really good stuff. Let's try to get this last bundle sold. $90, a wide variety of listening here. Look at all this. Just $5 each. If not, this is literally going to be the front part of my $6.99 crate in the morning. And if you're watching that in the morning, you'll probably see a bunch of that stuff get grabbed up. I'd rather sell it to y'all all right now, okay? What is on the Man's Ruin Comp? Man's Ruin Comp, is that an LP or a CD? Man's Ruin Comp. Nothing there called Man Ruins. Mad Hatters, Population 4, Alan Parsons, Doobie Brothers, Raining Thunder, Nightcrawler, Best of Alan Parsons, 12 Stones, Foreigner, Candlebox, Foreigner, Jack Yellow, Seven Star, Sleepwell, Population 4. Ah, okay. Finding the Blind, Man's Ruin, Over You, Camouflage, and Enough. Anybody want to make an offer? So our goal for the group, as I've told Tanner, if a couple people that's about to start working here, after they start working here, I'm going to have some help with him being freed up and maybe one more third additional employee we're going to be hiring in the next 30 days. I think we could literally be selling constantly live throughout the day in that group. Not actually live where somebody's standing here streaming, but just doing videos and post, taking a picture of about 10 posters, posting in the group, etc., etc. And I think from the hours of 8 or 10 a.m. up until 5, whenever I get here to show, we basically can be selling all day in our group. As much interaction, as many people that's in there now, 10,000 members, all record buyers and collectors. I think basically we could just sell live because right now we post a whole crate. Right now we post a whole crate and everything gets claimed. I mean, we have several, off and on, several thousand different people watch the streams every night. But when you post something in there, they get to watch it right then. And you know, it may be people who don't want to watch live or don't like commenting live. I've had some people tell me, I'm just not going to watch, but I'll buy anywhere else you post. They're just not into the live streams, which is okay. Y'all greatly enjoy it. I greatly enjoy it. Some people just want to click on something and buy it. And we're going to get that set up over the next rest of the year. It's going to take us a while to get it built up and the logistics because we got to add more shippers now and more people to tag, more people to sort. More people to organize, etc., etc. Speaking of, let's sell this, and then I'm going to flip over this crate and get going. Here we go. Anybody else? I was at $90, 18 records at 5 each. If not, I'm going to clean this table, flip over the crate, and probably for a little bit longer tonight. I'm not going to say a time, just whenever my brain says it's time to go. I do need to get some rest tonight. So Susie loves it. She watches 8 hours a night every night, right, Susie? Susie's on. If I'm on here, Susie's on here. I can count on that. 8 hours a night every night. 8 hours a night every night. Susie, she's on here. She's putting in 60 hours a week with Coletco. All right. Okay, I was really trying to sell this last bundle. Where's William Drugovich at when I need him? William, don't hesitate to make an offer, sir. You know, you have bought like 3 other bundles. I'll be very lenient on this one. You know, because you got a big open box going now. It'll help us a lot on shipping. He's probably like, well, I know if I make an offer, you're going to take it. That's what somebody told me one day. It's like, Chad, I don't make offers in the best offer crate because you're going to take them. I don't make offers because I know you're going to say yes. All right. So, done. All right, let's get into some CDs. Don't hesitate, William. You throw out what you think's fair for those, what'd I say, 18 records, whatever. Problem when you're dealing with per unit, it's like, well, 3 sounds better each. And I'm like, well, that's also 20, that's also taking $40 additional off. Not saying I wouldn't take 3, I'm just saying I've had that conversation before with somebody. Okay, let's get the board cleared here. So that stuff's already sold. I'm going to take the Ghost Funkos off. I'm going to take the Riddler off. Done. Put this over here. We've already shown these 2 stacks. With those PC games. Got an expensive one there I'm going to have to list on the old eBay, probably. Or I'm going to show it in the video first. Let's move these over here, actually. Okay. Let me restart this. Get an update timer. I'd say we're going to be on here for about 30, 45 more minutes. Okay? So we better make it count. We better make it count. Then I'm going to need some time to dig out more. Because that's my problem right now. I can't even get to these others. Let me go over here and try to climb over this way. It goes good till I run out of a stash. And then when the stash gets low, I'm like, well, time to find another stash. Aha. Here we go. You never know what I might pull. I just found a really random crate over here of stuff we bought can go through too. All right, so here we go. What do we got here? DI, Horse Bite, Dog Cries. That looks like a metal CD. DI, Flogging Molly, Drunken Lullabies, Paul Westerberg, Stereo, Shadows Fall, The Cure, Blood Flowers, Brightest Stars Anthology, a Stars Anthology, Greatest Hits, A Sisters of Mercy, The Stone Roses, Love Spreads. There you go. You're going to get it one way or another. Your nightly dose of Asia. Shadows Fall, Fire from the Sky, and the Afghan Wigs, Black Love. Those are all $6.99. Okay, first thing we have here, how's Metal Knight looking? I just showed the high picture earlier. I can show it again. It's some great looking stuff. Michael Reed on DI, and then Antonio Villanueva on the Cure. So several surprises, some kind of surprises hadn't been claimed in there. Flog and Molly, Paul Westenberg, Shadows Fall, Stars Anthology, Sisters of Mercy, Stone Roses, Asia, Shadows Fall, and Afghan Wigs sold to William Drugovich. Done. And here's the next handful. We've got Neil Diamond, Tennessee Moon, John Elefante, Windows of Heaven with a demo sticker, Neil Diamond 3-chord opera, Enigma, Return to Innocence, Emerson, Lake and Palmer, Black Moon, The Great Ellington Units, Duke Ellington featuring Mahalia Jackson and Emerson, Lake and Palmer in the hot seat. All right, so first thing we have is Rebecca Howard on Flog and Molly. She also got, out of this stack here, Enigma. And then Grog on the dibs on the two Ellingtons, which is the Great Ellington Units and Duke Ellington Black, Brown, and Beige. Okay, and then Susie next on Enigma. And we have Burt on both Emerson, Lake and Palmer. That left John Elefante and the two Neil Diamonds. Next is Enigma 3, Anthems, Carrie Ellis, Deleted Scenes from the Cutting Room Floor, CD and DVD, Caro Emerald again, The Shocking Miss Emerald, the Doobie Brothers 2 albums in 1, Fault Line and Minute by Minute, Steve Dwade, Bad Case of the Blues, George Duke Snapshot, and George Duke Illusions. And he does want both Duke Ellingtons. Both Duke Ellingtons sold to Grog. Awesome. Done. And then George Duke. Donna has first dibs on those two. And that leaves Steve Dwade, the Doobies, Caro Emerald, Carrie Ellis, and Enigma again. Enigma 3, Leroy Esmore Vive Leroy. Surprised someone hadn't claimed that one based on the demand for the other two. Donna's dibs on George Duke. Let's go back and visit that shelf. Maybe I can climb back over this box a little bit better now. Might bring over this little miscellaneous tub I just cracked open the lid of. Oh boy, I don't know if I can reach these. Barely. Come on. I'm like leaning. If y'all could see the predicament I'm in. Ow. Okay. Next time I'm going to have to move this poster. There's about 20 frame posters I'm having to lean over to get to some of these CDs I can see on a shelf. That's the chaos I'm going through right now. If you hear me grunting and my chest is being punctured by a sharp metal frame. Donna gets both George Dukes sold. This one has a broken jewel case. I'll go ahead and tell you that right now. Up here. No Doubt, self-titled. Nice. Dead Kennedys. Iguana Studios rehearsal tape. The Killers, Battleborn. This also has a broken jewel case. Let me see if I can maybe reattach it. 9 Days, The Maddening Crowd. That has a song. This is The Story of a Girl, I think. And then this is John Elefante, The Amazing Grace. Richard Elliott, Take to the Skies. And then, oh boy. Duke Ellington, Ken Burns Jazz. Duke Ellington, the 1953 Pasadena concert. Duke Ellington Small Bands, Backroom Romp. Duke Ellington, Such Sweet Thunder. Duke Ellington Jazz Party. Duke Ellington Blues and Orby. Duke Ellington Indigos. Duke Ellington at Newport. And Duke Ellington Uptown. First on the Dead Kennedys was Dragon. That's sold to Rebecca. Michael Reed was next. Also, The Killers sold to Rebecca. And then Bert put ND for 9 days. Is that right, Bert? And then William next on Dead Kennedys. And then Donna first on Duke. And Grog says, rest in peace me. Because Donna has dibs on the entire Duke Ellington collection there. Donna said all. And Grog just got a dagger to the heart. He said no 9 days. Okay, so he wants no doubt instead. That was the equivalent of finish him. Rebecca gets 9 days. That was the equivalent to Mortal Kombat. Finish him when Donna said all. We have Alice in Chains Live. This is 1990, 1992. It's a 2 LP red vinyl. Basically doing the albums Dirt and Facelift Live. Amazing. $39.99. Okay. And we have our first gigantic stack of sold CDs over here. So let me take these over here. And I think, honestly, to get the CDs, I'm going to have to probably move out some other stuff. And while I'm moving that out, maybe I can bring it over here and we can sell it. That would be ideal. So we'll see what happens. You know, we are technically under a new timer. So, and by the way, when I started the show tonight, all those CD box sets that didn't sell last night, we auctioned and sold everything. So everything that didn't sell last night, when I started the show, we basically sold all that. Sell the posters. I do, well, these are tagged for auction. These are actually some really good ones. They're going to have to be, they're already researched, but they're going to have to be, they're good enough that we have took time to research them and therefore sell them. This tub may have CDs in it if I can get to it. Let me crack open the lid and just bring it over here. It might have some of that guy's old that music executive collection deal, person. Might have some of his stuff, but I think if I get to the bottom, we might can find some CDs or maybe like box sets or something of that nature. I did not see any Van Halen bootlegs in the picture. Nope. Here, we'll have a quick auction, okay? These are Beatles. The Beatles CD 3-inch single long boxes. These are all sealed. They're CD 3-inch CD box sets sealed. Those are going to go up at 1:06 a.m. for a $15 start. Yellow Submarine, Ticket to Ride, and Paperback Rider. Sealed Beatles, $15 start. Okay? Next thing I have, this is $24.99. It's a Black Sabbath Paranoid t-shirt, extra large. Black Sabbath Paranoid t-shirt, new, extra large, $24.99. Paranoid t-shirt. All right, what do I have next? Here, I told you I'd find some CDs. $6.99. Jason Isbell in the 400 unit, live at the Ryman. And Biohazard is sealed. Urban Discipline. Those are $6.99 and $6.99. Rebecca gets the Black Sabbath shirt for $24.99. Burt Jordan's in on the Beatles at $15. Laura says the Van Halen bootlegs got buried when everything got shifted to make room for the new collection, so I'll probably be a while for those surface again. Paul S., there's your answer. Grog got Isbell. Let me go ahead and just set the shirt over here. And so that's so to Grog. Biohazard is sealed, by the way. Jim B probably should be all over that, I would think. What else is in here? Rick Braun, Beat Street, and AC/DC. Live Wire. What's this one called? Power Up. Those are $6.99. Final call on the 3 Beatles items. And then let's see here. Oh, I know what all these are. This is stuff I handpicked from Fred's 45s to auction and price. Boy, I did that months ago. It's cool stuff in here. Some of them's autographed. That's a Zeppelin boot. Some of them's already marked by Paul, though. Okay. Here, I probably can show some of those if you give me a second. Might be some cool stuff in there. So, Donna got Rick Brom. And Antonio got Biohazard. AC/DC still available. These are sold to Bert Jordan for $15. Thank you, Bert. So do you. Here is a Ronnie Carl guitar pick. Ronnie Carl guitar pick. Ronnie Carl. Who is Ronnie Carl in? Ronnie Carl? Ronnie Carl. Not ringing a bell at first ring. Is this a gold CD? It is. It's Chicago Transit Authority. Looks like it says made in Japan. Maybe a gold disc. It's no artwork. It's pretty nice. Chicago, $6.99. Is this real? This is sterling silver. That's probably pretty nice though. That's silver. Donna on Chicago. That's sold to Donna. Next is talking about random. This is it. A Deep Purple CD, Bananas, Deep Purple, and California Transit Authority. California Transit Authority. Signed. There's some cool looking stuff in the bottom of this box. Let's see here. Ronnie Carl was in Flaming Youth, passed away a few years ago. There we go. $5, $4.99 specifically. Let me get a good look at this. Hold on a second. This is USA 925. This definitely looks like it. So, not bad. Wouldn't fit around my neck. Sterling silver chain. It's been a while since I've sold any jewelry on here. 18-inch, probably. 18 or 20-inch. $10 start. Up for bid. Even sterling, this nicely made in a jewelry store would not be cheap right now. Definitely, it's not gold filled either. It's not gold filled. Boy, I wish I had my loop. The bezel's marked sterling too. I was hoping it would have a different marking. So, but yeah, that's up for bid. Okay. Sterling silver, of course, 92.5%. And I've been around enough stuff, that's good to go. If they wanted to fake something, they would put 10 karat on it, or 14. Bert Jordan got Deep Purple, and AC/DC is $6.99, yes. And Rebecca's in on the chain at $10. I knew somebody was going to buy that. That's a steal. It's better than the being at the bottom of the stub. Better than the being at the bottom of the stub. What are these? These are, I think somebody gave those to me. I've been looking for those. Somebody sent these to me in the mail. There's the JFK cards. Scott Arnold on AC/DC, thank you. We're almost done with this thing because there's not as many CDs as I thought in here. Final call on the chain for $10. Here we go. Now there's a bid for 11. Boy, I like that. Let's see what else is in here. All right, so we'll say I got some toys here for $19.99. We got a, is this Tootsie Toy? What is this? They're usually Tootsie Toy. This one's unmarked, it looks like. There's a metal Army Jeep, rubber tires. We'll say that's $19.99. And I've got that's a really cool, we'll say that's $24.99. Look at that. That's pretty cool. $24.99 on that. And then we got a tow truck. These are 40s era. That's 40s era there. Metal. Same price. This will probably be $34. This Sinclair Tootsie Toy, Sinclair gas tanker. That's also $24. That's another Tootsie Toy. We'll say this one's $14. It's got some paint damage. $9.99 on the little Jeep. This plane is $34.99. Pan American World Airways. And here's another Tootsie Toy plane. We'll say that one's $24.99. A lot of cool stuff there. That's some old toys. Everything there is about 40s and 50s era. All right, so what we got is Guy Shard says he'll take the Ronnie Carl for $5. That's so do you, thank you. And now the gold chains at $12, now $15. I think they're bidding on this. It's at $15, now $16. Yeah, we're doing all, we went off the beaten path right now. And so yeah, there's that. And I kind of forgot what I marked these. I think I said the car was 19, Jeep 24. I think I said 24 on that, 14 on that one, and 9 on that one. And then this is probably the better ones here, the Sinclair tanker and the plane, especially with the propellers is still stuffed on there. That's Pan American. That's like a 50s metal toy there. And then there's that. And then this, I'll lay it back there and that. Those will look very good out here in our display case if no one buys them right now. Oh, wait a minute. This one's got a brand on it. Chrysler. Nice. There's those. No toy collectors. Moving on. I don't know how long I've had this stuff. Oh my gosh, look at all this. Are these priced? See. The Jacksons Victory button. $6.99. What else do we have here? We got a Anderson Buford Wakeman Howe button. $6.99. Also have a Julie Lennon Secret Value of Daydreaming for $6.99. And there's a bunch more in here. What is this one marked? Batman DC Pinback button, $4.99. It's yours if you want it. And then Culture Club, $9.99. And U2, The Unforgettable Fire, $6.99. And Elvis Costello, $6.99. Paul Brothers wants Batman. You got it. Next is Culture Club, sold to Michael Reed. I think the chain's at $18. If anybody else wants to bid, Rebecca's out. That's a final call for $18. Sterling silver. There's all those buttons. And I've got like literally a whole box here. So I don't know if I can get through all these, but I don't see any more CDs in here, so I'm about to swap out. I Married a Witch, $4.99. I Married a Witch. Well, that's pretty cool. 1979 Yosemite Sam, $11.99. The Beatles, $4.99. The Beatles. Michael Reed on I Married a Witch, sold. And then Yosemite Sam also sold to Michael Reed. Done. 1982 DC Batman, $9.99 on that one. The Stranglers for $6.99. And Susie put buttons, so that could be for a bunch of them. We'll see which one she wanted. That's the Green Lantern. Join the Corps, $6.99. Okay, so let's see what happened. Let's go ahead. I got to clean some of this up. First is, can I see the airplane toy? There's actually two. There is, oh, that was Beatles, okay. So this is the Pan American World Airways. It's metal. It's from Tootsie Toy. Yeah, it's from Tootsie Toy. That's the brand. $34.99 is what I said on that one. It might have had landing hardware at one point. I don't know. And then I processed this little small one here. It's also Tootsie Toy. It's rubber wheels. I'm sure that had landing gear at one point now that I think about it. $14.99 on that one. Okay? Or if somebody's interested in all these, I'll make a heck of a bundle deal. Susie got the Beatles. That was $4.99. Paul Brothers got Batman. That was $9.99. And then Rebecca on the Stranglers for $6.99. And then Paul Brothers on Green Lantern for $6.99. That's awesome. And let's do a few more. Let's go ahead and sell this silver chain. That is sold to Antonio, right? Yep. Antonio, that's sold to you for $18. Thank you. That's sold to you. And that's pretty cool. Jefferson Starship, the Next Generation. Jefferson Starship is $6.99. The Next Generation. There's a vintage U2 button. Or I guess that other one was vintage too, but there's another U2. We'll do $6.99 on that. And then Steve Martin, Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid. That's pretty cool. Steve Martin, $6.99. Here is a Godzilla button for $9.99. Made in USA, Godzilla. $9.99 on that. And Who Do You Love? George Thorogood and the Destroyers. That's pretty cool for $14.99. And Paul Brothers gets this U2 for $6.99. Michael Reed gets Godzilla for $9.99. Those are all sold. Okay. And then this looks familiar here. Who is this character? Mr. Mizaplex. Say it backwards. That's $6.99. $6.99 on that. Joe Don Baker, Final Justice from Verstern Video. Was that a movie promotional? That's $7.99. Mitzaplix's Michael Reed says he wants that one for $6.99. Sold to Michael Reed. I actually got a couple more of those, if anybody else wants one. Looks like I've got at least one more of those. Two more. Joe is sold to Paul Brothers. And we'll sell another one of these to Paul Brothers as well. Michael Reed also got one. Okay. And wow. I bet I can sell some of these, but let me figure out how to do it first. We got, I'm trying to remember this guy's name so I don't mess it up. Here, I'll go ahead and show him first. Mickey Mouse, Made in the USA, $7.99. That one was already stickered. And then Donald Duck, $6.99. Mickey and Donald, or Daffy. Who is it? Donald or Daffy? And then make sure you're not letting me claim it. Ooh, what is this? This is a McDonald's Batman Returns Frisbee bat disc. $6.99. That looks like something I'd still have stashed away in my bedroom, my old bedroom somewhere. Neil Young in Berlin. That's pretty cool. Neil Young, $6.99. $6.99 on Neil Young there. And one more. And this is Todd Rundgren, England, 1982. Todd Rundgren tour pin. Donald. Is that a claim, Paul Brothers? Let me clear some of this off, and let me also step back over here and figure out what happened to the rest of the CDs. Not a Donald claim. Okay, not that. It's Donald. Okay, that's what I thought. Guy Shard. I had a feeling if Guy was still watching, he would buy Neil Young. Thank you. Appreciate that. Let me take this little stack in here before there's a spill, just like CDs. Uh-oh. Please don't fall. Almost knocked off the tub I was working on. I'm in tight quarters over here, so let me free up some space right quick. Oh! Something just fell. Okay, it's good. It didn't fall off, it just shifted. All right. Grog wants the mini Frisbee. Thank you. Batman was, Paul was just asked. Maybe he was answered. It's a mini Frisbee. McDonald's, Batman Returns, Frisbee bat disc. Okay. Let me find a little tub let me get this tub here to put all these in. Okay. So we still got Donald. We got Mickey. We got Todd Rundgren, Steve Martin, Jefferson Starship, Julian Lennon, the Jacksons. Still got a Mitzerplix, so I had another one. Anderson, Buford, Wakeman, Howe, that's essentially yes. George Thorogood, Elvis Costello, another U2, which has the Unforgettable Fire artwork. So that's like 1984. And there's the Batman. Paul, you got to have that. You got to have that. Here is $6.99 on that. So this is something, the last time I showed it, I started it at $225. And at this point, I'll just take an offer. This is a Kiss CD single box set. Kiss CD single. So let me give you an example. Let's show, I think I got them in chronological order too. So here's an example. Rock and Roll All Night, studio and live version. So it's a CD single box set from Kiss. And I think I've had this for a little while. It's limited edition. 1974, 1982, the Casablanca singles. So the last time I put that up, it was at $225 if anybody wants to claim it or make an offer. Okay? $225 on that. What is this? This is a tie box. Jerry Garcia. It's just a mini 10. It's a tie series that Jerry Garcia did from the Grateful Dead. Just an empty box. $6.99. My favorite price. It's my favorite price. And let's finish going through these other small little buttons. Get Down America, vote Howard the Duck in 76. $6.99 on Howard the Duck. Glows in the Dark, Love in the Time of Monsters, $19.99. My mom had marked some of these at some point. Glows in the Dark, Love in the Time of Monsters, $19.99. George Burleson says he'll take the Jerry Garcia for $6.99. And Stephen Parton on Howard the Duck for $6.99. Thank you on that. A weed box. Craig, I thought that was a request. You were looking for a weed box. John Flanagan, Ranger's Apprentice. That is $6.99. And then got a few. Ooh, here we go. You might actually have a claim here, Craig. The Clash, 1980. Black Market Clash. $9.99 for The Clash. $6.99 for The Clash. What the heck is this? Was that the price on that? Surely not. Whoops, I just dropped it. Some kind of Coca-Cola. The Coca-Cola Collection, Series 2 Coke Cap, 5 of 8. $6.99 on that. Rebecca, first on The Clash. So to Rebecca. And then Michael Reed. And then Craig Thomas, a close third. Dang it. Okay, we've already sold one to Paul. Here's another one. Emerald Warrior for the Green Lantern. $6.99 on the Emerald Warrior there. What is this? Dig. Dig what or dig who? Dig. $6.99. Pogs, oh my gosh, hadn't heard that name in a while. Metropolis pen back. That's pretty cool. Metropolis pen back. $4.99 on that. And then what else do we have next over here? I'm a Rock Believer, Scorpions. Scorpions is $6.99. I think I got a bunch of those. Michael Reed on Metropolis. That's so to Michael Reed. All right. And then I've got more of these Scorpions. I think I got a bunch of them. Yeah. Scorpions. I'm a rock believer. I got a bunch of these, it looks like. Okay, almost to the bottom of this box. At this point, I just want to finish it up. Go for the gold, the Boaster Gold. And what is this? I don't know. $6.99. All right, just because it's me, it's Kiss Week. Sold! Oso Adventure, $150. You bought a lot of stuff on Kiss Night too. Sold to Oso, $150. Done. Les Milk. The most exciting adventures ever written about milk since Les Milk something. $4.99. Thank you, Oso. Great customer, great offer, great sale. San Diego Chargers, Coors Light. That looks like something that'd be given out at the game. That's like probably a giveaway. There's another Scorpions button. Ender's Game. Dog tag, Ender's Game. If I'm not saying a price, then you can assume it's $6.99. The Crew. Some kind of keychain fob. The Crew. A lot of promotional stuff in here. Almost done. About 3 items left. There's another Metropolis pinback if anybody wants another one. Here is Batmite. I've got a couple of those. Batmite. There we go. For Paul Brothers and Michael Reed who bought Mitzerplix. There's Batmite. That's something else DC because it's copyrighted DC, but I don't know what it is. There's a rubber band. $6.99. If you buy that, I'll give you another one free. And then INTTV, IN2, some kind of, probably something worn by a Best Buy employee back in the day. Paul Brothers on Batmite. Surely Michael Reed wants the other one. And then what else is over here? We have Credit for You. That's probably worn by somebody at a Cash Express place. And then this, I'm trying to figure out what this is. Is this, it looks like at first like Green Lantern, but it's a ring. I don't think it is though. Okay. Over here, Paul Brothers on NT. Is that what this thing was? Is that what that thing was? And then Michael Reed, we have Credit for You. All right. He needs that. And then, can I see the one with the symbol you didn't know? That might be what Paul Brothers claimed. What was NT, Paul? That is from something. Paul says, I've got a ton of rubber bands. The computer. Okay. Right here. That's so to Paul. Thank you. And rubber band half off. Can't do it. Can't do it. $6.99 firm. These are first time showing these. No further discounts. Here is a Shell Echo Market Valley receipt from 2024. That's probably mine. $6.99 on that receipt. And that's it. That box was full of all these buttons. We've made it to the bottom. Wow, that's some cool stuff in there. I'm actually going to trash this receipt, so that's no longer for sale. And then Under Milk. Under Milk. But did I tag the other Batmite? Michael Reed wanted the other Batmite too. It's Under Milk. Oh, this. That. Okay. Now we sold both Batmites. Okay. There's that. All right. So what else? Ranger's Apprentice. And somebody might actually need this. Let me look this up. I actually might need, I don't know why we have this. It looks like something we ordered. I mean, this is very much might be something you need. ATN 36007L. It's not that expensive. How much is this on Amazon? They're $27.99. Is this a 2-pack though? No. Okay, so that's for a 2-pack. And so if 2-pack is, let's say 30, 15, how about $10? This is an Audio Technica turntable cartridge, new. $10. A 2-pack is $27.99 on Amazon. An ATN 3600L, brand new, in box, papers. All right. Sterling silver 10-carat gold-filled earrings. Sterling silver 10-carat gold-filled earrings. $6.99. Both of them's there. I don't know why they're displayed like that, but it's a 20th 10K 925. So gold-filled sterling silver earrings, $6.99. This is a floating golf ball. So this will never sink if you hit it in the water. $6.99. A floating golf ball. Peter Haas first on the cartridge for $6, so to Peter. Leslie second on that. Rebecca on the earrings for $6.99. And there's another Scorpions. This box is still going. Here's an empty Pilsner liquor. This is something to do with Kiss, okay? $6.99. $6.99 for that Kiss can. Wow, this might be pretty good, actually. What is this? Is this a game? What do we have here? Oh, 1 second. Battleship Compact Disc Interactive. $19.99. $19.99. Oso needs that Kiss can. He does. Here is part of a Dunkin' Donuts coffee box. All right. And then this is Rockline. This is Twisted Sister and Iron Maiden. $6.99. Matchbox 20 ticket stub. Hank Williams Jr. ticket stub. Pink Floyd ticket stub. $6.99 each. Another Scorpions button. 5 more Scorpions buttons. Stephen Parton takes the Pink Floyd ticket stub, $6.99. Pretty cool item. I better wait on those. That's a vintage pocket knives. I probably can sell those next Sunday. Who is that? It's not the Beatles. They never did play Savannah, Georgia. What is LES? What band could that be? It's too pricey for the Beatles either. LES. The Who. The last 3 letters were, could be the Turtles. Somebody. $6.99. Eagles? It could be the Eagles. Eagles sounds right. I'm going to go with Eagles. I think y'all might be onto something there. Some kind of Beatles fan club thing. Nothing vintage. The Allman Brothers. The Allman Brothers. Poison. Poison. Vans Warped Tour. Rehab. Make sure I hadn't missed any claims. I don't know. 4 below 0. Oreo Speedwagon and Sticks. $25. Coca-Cola bottle opener thingy. $25. Staples Center. Where did you see that at? And then Allman Brothers. That is right here. There's 2 of them. There's one from 2002 and one from 2002. For 40 below or 4 below? Daughtery? Yeah, Daughtery and 4 below. That's like a window sticker. 4 below 0. Okay? He says he'll take both. All right? Done. And now, more Scorpions buttons. I found them. Man, I've been looking for this forever. Thank you, Kevin Cassidy. He sent me, he worked with Tom Petty. These are all stage played Tom Petty guitar picks. That's like a small fortune right there. Thank you, Kevin Cassidy. I've been looking for those forever. This is what happens when you have as much stuff as I do. Who is this? Zoodorable? Genocide, Reign of Terror. Looks like something. Jim B would buy. That looks like it's $100. No CDs aren't over. It's only $140. Are you kidding me? It's early. No, I've got to stop here. I'm literally at the bottom. I know I've been saying that for a while, but I am literally at the bottom. I love PBS. I love PBS. Did I miss any claims? Did I miss any claims? I got to, me and him's going to do some kind of deal on those. I'm probably going to try to sell them for him. Or he actually gave them to me, but I was like, man, I can't sell these for, hundreds of dollars and not give you some of the money of them. So we're going to work something out. Wow, look at this. This was wrapped in a rubber band. What do we have here? I think these were Fred Goodwin's. Oh, boy. Holy moly. Okay, I better take some time to go through these. I don't think... wow, 52 tops. Where did these come from? Let's make sure there's not like a Mickey Mantle in here, Wow, that's a good one. Birdie's Young Sluggers with Frank Robinson. Whoa. 52 tops. Whoa. Let's put those over there. Buy 'em blind for 20. Pass. But thank you for the offer. I love PBS. So do Michael Reed. And then Nobody on Battleship. What else is in here? Oh, look at these. I got these from a guy in Atlanta. He took all these photographs. Look at this. These are unpublished. This is also a guy we got a bunch of autographs from. Neil Young, Rod Stewart, Emerson, Lake and Palmer, Peter Frampton. He actually took all these at the show. Sporting events. He didn't take that. I still don't know where that came from. It's Paul McCartney and John Lennon. We found that down in a record, and I still haven't been able to find it on the World Wide Web. Look at that picture he took of Elvis. He actually took that picture of Elvis. Look at that. He took these photographs. Amazing, right? I've got stacks of them. In my opinion, they're pretty dang valuable. I got to figure out what to do with them. And I still hadn't figured out about this picture of Paul McCartney and John Lennon. I think that's pretty valuable too. I have a lot of stuff. I've never figured out what to price it for that I think could be expensive. We got the Illustrated Elvis, $9.99. Come on. Where's Regina at? $9.99. Jim B wants Genocide. I knew it. That's like a $50 cassette, isn't it? That sold to Jim B for $6.99. I spoke too soon on that one. See, this is my tub of stuff to double check the value of down here at the bottom. And now I'm pricing stuff on the fly. These were also sent to me. I forgot who sent these to me, these JFK trading cards. I think they're pretty cool. I need to take those home. I will auction Tom Petty. Yeah, let me reach out to Kevin. And he said he worked for Tom Petty for almost 3 decades. Yep, I worked for Tom Petty for almost 3 decades. And he did. He's got a lot of true memorabilia. You can take his word. He sent me pictures. He's got autographed everything. Elvis book, $9.99. And then, what the heck is this? This is something I probably deemed potentially valuable, but I never could figure out what it is. It looks like something from a racehorse or a horse race. Here's another button. Kung Fu. Kung Fu for $6.99. Nice. Peter Criss car. Surely somebody needs that. Peter Criss car for $6.99. Holy moly. A Peter Criss car. And what's down here on the bottom? On the bottom is December 10th, 1980. The New York Times. What happened? President-elect New York Reagan with the Cardinal. Nothing significant. Senate 83 backs a 3 extension of revenue sharing. Wow, look at that vote. 80-3. You don't see that too much. Oh, John Lennon. December 10th. Oh, it's the day after John Lennon's death. Day after John Lennon's death. He died on December 9th. That's why I have that. Or somebody kept it. And then Ender's Game. And we're truly at the bottom. Here is a Save Frankie wristband. All right. And let's finish the show with some CDs. And then I got a call tonight as well. I've went through the entire box. Regina must not be watching or she would have bought that Elvis book. Susie even tagged her, didn't she? Yep. Susie always tags her. Did I go through everything on that over here on this rack? Can I get to these other compact discs is the question. Let's see if I can step over here and get to them. Ooh. Nope, not really. So let's go back here and grab these other ones then. If I try to do that, it could cause a major problem. So let's step right in here. What's in this box? That was some fun stuff, though. Everybody agree? Surely not. Surely so, I mean. Surely not. All right, here we go. 5 big handfuls from the back. Make sure Donna is still watching. Otherwise, she's going to be like, Chad, I got to go to sleep. Honey child. I'm going to be like, okay, sad but true. Right. Some of that was from the music exec, yeah. We just sold a lot of random stuff. Let me carry all this in here carefully because it's kind of in order. We just sold all that stuff. And let me also take this T-shirt and CD 3-inch. We sold some 3-inch CDs right then. All right. And then let me get this other handful. So jewelry, cassettes, CDs, pin backs, turntable cartridges, all kinds of stuff right then. Goodness. Grand Funk, the very best album ever, which is a compilation. Grand Funk Collector Series. Also, Grand Funk On Time. Grand Funk, the Red Album. We have The Ides of March. Beware, The Ides of March. Fleetwood Mac, Greatest Hits. Fleetwood Mac, The Dance. Jefferson Airplane, 2400 Fulton Street. Jefferson Starship Gold. Starship Forever Gold. Starship Miracles Live. Starship Extended Versions. Elvis at Sun Studios. Elvis 30 #1 hits. Elvis Good Rockin' Tonight. Elvis No Artwork 50 Gold Ward hits parts 1 and 2. At first I thought it was a gold disc. B.B. King, King of the Blues. Good Vibrations, Classic 60s. Black History and Music, Rhino. Belushi Aykroyd, Have Love Will Travel. Let me pause there. And first is Stephen Parton on FM. And his FM claim was Fleetwood Mac. And was that for The Dance or Greatest Hits, Stephen? And then Stephen on Elvis. And there was At Sun and 30 #1 hits. And then Allspo, Good Rockin' Tonight. And then Sherry's first on Jefferson Airplane, right? There was only one airplane unless you wanted Starship 2. So I'll officially first tag that to Sherry, first on the stack. And then Donna on BB for BB King. And then Donna also on Black History. And then John Durden on BA. And that was Belushi and Aykroyd. Okay? Some of these might have old McKay stickers on them. And they will very easily peel off. I've showed you before. I mean, they're gone. They peel off instantly, no residue. So, I guess it's Stephen's dibs on Fleetwood Mac and Stephen's dibs on Elvis, unless I have misread exactly what he wanted. There's a Fleetwood Mac, The Dance, and Greatest Hits, and then the 3 Elvis. And the ones you don't want, he wants Fleet. So, Greatest Hits and then The Dance are those 2. They're both Fleetwood, of course, and then he wants Hits. So we'll go ahead and give these other 2 to Regina. Regina, did you miss the Elvis book earlier? The Illustrated Elvis for $9.99. I figured you wanted that too. Oh, there was another Elvis too. There was this one for Regina. Okay? All the Grand Funks are still available too. Okay, next is John Lee Hooker Strikes Blues. Steve Earle, live from Austin, Texas. The Byrds original single, 65 to 67. And then Nashville, the music of Nashville, original soundtrack. Okay? Regina wants the Elvis book sold. And so, Stephen, you just want Fleetwood Mac Greatest Hits, right? I want to make sure I got that correctly. I'm sorry, but I still didn't. You just have put Fleet. So there was a Fleetwood Mac Greatest Hits, and that's what you wanted. Okay, because there was also Fleetwood Mac The Dance. Okay, so Donna, if you want The Dance, let me know, because you were next. I was sorry, I might have confused myself there. And then Steve Earle is So to Grog. And over here, we got Sherry wants all the Grand Funks. Nice. So Sherry gets all 4 of those Grand Funks. So does Sherry Darnell. So that left Fleetwood Mac, Nashville, The Byrds, John Lee Hooker, Good Vibrations, and then Jefferson Starship, and The Ides of March. They have that great song Vehicle. Paul Brothers gets The Dance, okay? let's go get another handful off the shelf. So this guy, all these that have, well, maybe not all of them, but especially if they have a lot of those McKay stickers, we bought a world-class blues collection back last year. And some of y'all were here because y'all saw the ads where we got all these incredible blues records. Well, that guy had like 10,000 blues records, which is just mind-blowing. But more even mind-blowing, he had probably 30,000 CDs. You heard that number right. And that picture that I post all the time, just to blow everybody's mind, of the racks over here, almost all these was this guy. So you can see how much space they took up and how much it is. And we still got them in boxes over here, but most of them have been unboxed and put on this rack. And he bought them new. He bought them at record stores. He bought them at McKay's. He bought them at Goodwill's. You know, he bought them everywhere. He was a music collector. 10,000 LPs and 30,000 CDs. And most of this stuff all came from him. But he also had rock and classic rock. He had jazz. But you'll see a lot of blues, and you're going to see a lot of classic rock in this guy's stuff. But with the blues, he also had maybe some soul, because if he was in the blues, you know, he probably got into some soul too. So it was a heck of a collection. And honestly, when we got them, we were overwhelmed. We was like, what the heck do we do with all these? You know, because it was just a space problem, and we're still trying to figure out how to transport them or try to get them logistically shown. I mean, we can show these for weeks. But I try to find other stuff because I like mixing up collections and etc. Now, also, I think he had a system. See how all the books are upside down? So I think he was copying a lot of these into hard drives, and I think he signified that by putting the book upside down. There are so many books that are upside down, so that's going to be pretty annoying, but obviously an easy fix. All right, Mark Farner, he's from Grand Funk, red, white, and blue. I said I was going to do about 4 or 5 stacks. Probably going to do 4 or 5 stacks before we call it a night here. Grand Funk Railroad Live, the 71 tour. Grand Funk Live, the classic album. Grand Funk Bosnia. That's a double pack. I've never seen that before. Whoa. The Grand Funk reissues. Wow. So 4 albums in 1 pack. And then No News, Just the Blues. James Bolden Blues Band. Next is Tim Hughes, Here I Am to Worship. Silk Turrentine, Something for Everybody. Backbeat Tours, Got My Mojo Working. And Ray Charles, 45 Great Performances. Wow, 45 tracks on 2 CDs. Donovan, Sunshine Superman. This is The Cajun Strangers, Cajun Country Ramble. Dan Fogelberg Souvenirs. I don't know if I've ever seen that on CD. Just Jimmy Reed. And B.B. King Blues Series, Volume 1. B.B. King Blues Series. There's his McKay CD. He spent $6 on Jimmy Reed 14 years ago. All right, so let's go back to the top and see what happened. Adam Bernardi on James Baldwin. James Baldwin was right here, Bolden, right, B-O-L-D-E-N. That's sold to Adam Bernardi. Paul wants the 4 albums in 1. And then Stephen Parton on RC for Ray Charles. Then John Durden. Then Donna wants B.B. King. Okay? So that stack left Jimmy Reed and Dan Fogelberg Souvenirs. Dan Fogelberg Souvenirs. And also, McKay stickers are weird. So look, it says very scratched. Okay? This disc basically doesn't have a mark on it. Maybe a few scuffs right there. You can see it right there. I've got the light. But nothing that's going to affect back play. So I don't understand their grading system. Paul also used to grade some of these. This one's brand new, essentially. But I think CDs are graded kind of like records, but I've never understood it because I have played some CDs that have a bunch of scuffs, and they play just fine. So James Bolden, B-O-L-D-E-N. Yeah, that's still available. Okay? All right, let's go get another handful. Actually, I've got a few more right here. Let's go ahead and knock these out. George Thorogood and the Destroyers. Out of Blue, the Blue Baron Band. Living Far Out, Mark Gallup. And there's BB King, King of the Blues. Okay? BB King, King of the Blues. And let's jump over here and grab another handful. Busy night. Wow. 10 crates of vinyl, and we filled up a whole table tonight of miscellaneous stuff. That's a big thank you to everybody watching. Let's do this little stack right here. Whew. My fatigue is starting to hit me. We got to keep going. I promise 5 more stacks if we could get through that tub of miscellaneous. Here's stack number 3. I'd like to fill up one more big tower over here of sold CDs, maybe 2. Donna, I was about to check that. It looks like it might be part of a series. Nope, you've already claimed that. Yep. Grog says he'll take the James Bolden. I also have a box of jazz over here we can try to slip in since Grog and Donna's watching, right? I just found it over here. Concrete Blues, The Revelation, Trey Williams. Soul by the Four Tops. Paul Carrick, Blue Veins. Runaway Planet, No Part of Nothing. BB King sold to Stephen Parton. James Brown's Greatest Hits. Muddy Waters and Otis Spann collaboration. And James Nixon, Back Down South. And Live Blues. Willie Big Eye Smith and Roger Hurricane Wilson. Live Blues protected by Smith and Wilson. All right. And then Donna on FT for Four Tops. Orleans Live, Still the One. 1960s Happy Days, Volume 3, no artwork. Van Morrison, nice. No back CD tray. His band in the Street Choir. Bonnie Raitt, Road Tested, no artwork. No booklet. The Rusty Wright Band, Playing with Fire. Adam Bernardi says he'll take the Muddy Waters, all right? That's sold to Adam Bernardi. You got it. Jazz crate? Jazz box? What? Jazz box? Have I shown these already? If not, if so, I'll go find another one. I'll say this, it's from that jazz radio station, which that's the second biggest part of our inventory back here. We've got another lifetime of those to go through. All right. And then Sherry Darnell got the Van Morrison, his band in the Street Choir. Whoa. Domino. Bottom, bottom. Roll me over, Rolio. Something like that. All right, here's a handful from that box at question, or at hand. White Heat, Film Noir, Jazz at the Movies Band. Steps Ahead, Yin Yang. Paquito de Riviera, Havana Cafe. Peter Erskine, Paule Danielson, and John Taylor, ECM. Live at the Blue Note, Ronnie Cuber, as in Ice Cube. And Ronnie Burridge, as in Barrage of Cannon Fire, or Barrage. I can tell they was at a jazz radio station. They've got phonics. Ronnie Cubia, as in Ice Cube. Thank you. Charles Erland. Either Orchestra, The Calculus of Pleasure. Bruce Barth Quintet, Morning Call. Noah Barman, Ron Carter, and Ben Riley, that is sealed. Johnny Hepbeer, Turkish Blend. And Gerald Albright, Bermuda Nights. It's one of those nights. One of those Bermuda Nights. I just totally made that up. Donna Turner on Gerald Albright. All right, back to this other stack. Kanda, Africa, Where's the One? We have Lonesome Traveler's Blues, R.B. Stone. Pat Donahue, Big Blind Bluesy. John Mayall with Eric Clapton, The Blues Breakers. That's a classic. Bloodstains on the Wall, Country Blues from Specialty. Minivan Blues Band, Dancing with the Devil Once Again. Damar and Gill live. Sleepy Ray, Under the Mighty Blood. Leroy Brothers, Kings of Catnip. Professor Louie and the Crow Matrix, Jam, advanced copy. Almar Dykes, Running with the Wolf, sealed. The Stylistics, Can't Take My Eyes Off You. Eric Clapton, 3 CD box set. Wow. $6.99. Donna, Grog, and Dino have said in those last handfuls, we have no idea who these people are. That's not a good sign. That's not a good sign with as much music knowledge as some of y'all have to say we've never heard of these people. Donna on the Stylistics, and John Durden got Clapton, then Donna, and then Sherry Darnell. Where was Jim B on that one, huh? All right, let me go get another handful off the shelf. Chad, we got a problem here, buddy. We have absolutely no clue who these people are. Yeah, I think jazz, I think about Coltrane, Davis. I could just keep naming them. I can't right now because I'm trying to think of them. But some of this, I'm like, is this actually jazz? Or did they get off into like a midnight happy hour on some of this stuff? Okay. What handful should I grab next? Let's grab this right here. And let's grab these. What the heck is in this box? What is that, plastic cups? Man, we got so much stuff back here. I'm like, what is going on? That looked like a big box of just plastic cups. I'm like, why do we even have that? That should have been thrown in the dumpster 2 months ago. It's taking up space. Yeah, that's the thing about a radio station. A radio station gets in a lot of stuff and they just keep it and maybe play some of it. Here we go. Downchild, Can You Hear the Music? That is sealed. The Nighthawks, Hard Living. It's sealed. Venice Thomas, Soul Sister Volume 1. Ashad Hemmons and the Mountain Soul Band. Leslie Gore, It's My Party, I'll Cry If I Want To, Cry If I Want To. Son Jack Jr., When the Devil Calls. Rock Report, John Lennon. Richie Havens, Nobody Left the Crown. Carl Perkins and Sons. And the Doobie Brothers live from the Beacon Theater. So there's those, and I'll go ahead and show this. Wynonie Harris, Rockin' the Blues. A 4-disc with 62-page book. Wynonie Harris. Ow. Okay, and then John Durden on FDB. FDB was that a claim? Or is that an abbreviation of something? Maybe? No? And then over here we have F was accident, Doobie. Oh, the Doobie Brothers. Okay. So, whoop, wrong one. Doobie Brothers, so did John Durden. That's so did John Durden. And then Chad Stream Quote. I can keep naming them, but I can't right now because I'm thinking of them. There you go. And then Denise got Wynonie Harris. And we've already sold the Doobies. And Patrick wants to box of plastic cups, okay? Let's see. Plastic cups in this economy. Storage costs, logistics, transportation, Box of plastic cups is you're looking at about $749.99.99. All right, let's try another handful of jazz, okay? Here we go. If you want a podcast to listen to, Chad, I recommend A History of Rock and 500 Songs. Grover Mitchell and his all-star orchestra featuring Frank West, Hip Shakin'. Bill and Brazil, Bill Cunliffe. Peter Erskine, Sweet Soul. The Eye is Short, Peter Erskine. Thank you. In a Midnight Mood, Jeff Andrew Simpson. Jay Sennett, House and Senate. Senate rhymes with minute. Paquito de Riviera and the United Nations Orchestra, A Night in Inglewood. Dominique Eade, The Ruby and the Pearl. Jay Stinnett, Blue Jay. Lisa Hilton, Nuance. And Gregory Porter, Water. Ditto. Gregory Porter, So Did Donna Turner. Adam Bernardi was next. Okay. This is why I don't like starting a second stream. I should have been done 25 minutes ago. Y'all got me here doing overtime. Next handful from the rack. The Moody Blues Collection. Eric Clapton, Behind the Sun. Mac Allen Smith, The Early Years. Dr. John, Live at Montreux. Alan Hayes, Live at the Big Easy. An Evening with Don Williams, Best of Live. Van Morrison, Enlightenment. Charlie Daniels Band as Santa Claus. A smooth jazz tribute to Pink Floyd. A smooth jazz tribute to Pink Floyd. Wow. Donna on EC for Eric Clapton. Sold. John Durden on AH. AH for John Durden was Alan Hayes right here. Next was Don Williams for Stephen Parton. Donna wants the smooth jazz tribute. Donna wants the smooth jazz tribute. And then Adam Bernardi next. Sherry Darnell got Van Morrison. That left Charlie Daniels Christmas, Dr. John and Montreux, Mac Allen Smith, and the Moody Blues Collection. Go Now. Wow, that's the early stuff. That's all the early Moody Blues stuff. That's early pop, British pop blues, Moody Blues. Next. Albert Washington, Step It Up and Go. Ryan Reardon and the Levee Breakers, So Long Baby. Omar Kent Dykes, Big Town Playboy. Georgia Music Hall of Fame presents Blues Came to Georgia, a tribute to Santana. Right. Sitting on the park bench. That was a short snippet of Jethro Tull Aqualung. Donna on Santana. Stephen Parton got it. Thank you. Nice ears. Snot running down his nose. Dr. John, so did George Burleson. All right. Here we go. From the Jazz Box, Bobby Watson, Midwest Shuffle. The Yellow Jackets, Mirage a Trioi, or something like that. Yellow Jackets, Club Nocturne. Yellow Jackets, self-titled. Sonny Rollins, Rhymes with Collins. Now, who would mispronounce Rollins? Somebody like me? David Sanborn, Backstreet. Big Band, Latin from Manhattan. Roy Hargrove. Smokin' Java. Les McCann, Less is More. And my screen is lit up with D Jazzy comments. Donna Turner on SR. SR. David Sanborn. Sold. Or Sonny Rollins. No, one is SR and one's DS. Sonny Rollins. And then DS for David Sanborn, okay? I knew I was onto something. Roy Hargrove, sold to Donna. Adam was next. And we have quite the stack here of sold CDs. So let me transport these back to the back. Whoa, big tower here. That was a pretty good little batch from the Jazz. Beep, beep, bop, 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 bop. All right, let's grab another handful back here. I lost count. I was supposed to stop after 4. Golly, look at all these CDs. Oh my gosh. It's overwhelming because I can see all the spines. So I'm like, where do I grab from? And then there's this shelf, that, and then there's a bottom shelf too. Oh my gosh. We used every space of this back room for these, I tell you this. I mean, this is 100% efficiency storing these. Let's grab from right. Let me just finish this shelf here then. Let's grab these right here. Let's grab these. Just crazy. I probably should re-photograph it after you can see some of them gone and you can see the depth of how many's here. Does anybody just want to go ahead and buy them for $100 grand? I'll box them up and start shipping them tomorrow. You just wire me $100 grand tomorrow. If anybody's got that kind of cash that's laying around. So. All right. And then Donna needs to put David back. It was a duplicate. Okay? That's over here. Let me go grab that. And was there somebody back up on that one? Let me go get that out of the stack, Donna, or it will be forever tagged. David Sanborn, right? Backstreet. Gosh, how are you keeping up with what you've bought? That's my question. How are you? Do you have these in a spreadsheet or something? David Sanborn. Available. Okay, here we go. Might be one of the might be one of the last stacks, plus finishing out the box of Jazz. Fleetwood Mac, The Collection. The Vogue's Greatest Hits. Steve Earle, Train A-Comin'. Big Rock Deluxe. A musical salute to the American truck driver. First Came, Memphis Mini. June Carter Cash, Wildwood Flower, advanced copy. Willie Nelson, Old Whiskey River compilation. I knew it was Willie. I couldn't figure out what it said. Bob Dylan at Carnegie Hall, 6-track. Boz Scaggs, Greatest Hits Live. Freddie King, 34 to 76. First is Donna on Fleetwood Mac. Stephen Parton on Steve Earle. John on Willie Nelson. Donna on Boz Scaggs. Big Walter Horton, King Biscuit Boys, Well All Right. Roddy Romero and the Hub City All-Stars. Back to the 60s. Back to the 60s. Martin Scorsese presents The Blues Sunhouse Edition. Friday Morning Live, 97.5 KMOD, Tulsa's Rock Station. George Williamson, Feel No Pain, and Blues Traveler, Live from the Fall. Freddie King, You Can. Freddie King, 1934, 1976. Polydor, nice disc. Jewel case is cracked and worn, $6.99. John Durden on MS. And that was Martin Scorsese Presents the Blues, Sun House. Grog on Freddie King. Okay. Let me take a break from those and show you the, let's grab another handful out of the jazz box. Okay. George Burleson on Blues Traveler. Sato Wannabe, A Night with Strings. Casino Lights, recorded in Montreux, Switzerland. David Sanborn, Al Jarreau, Randy Crawford, Yellow Jackets. Diane Shore, Love Songs. Downtown Blues, John Von Olin, Chuck Carter, Steve Alley, and big bands. The Funky Misfit, Nuvatron, James Holohan. Candace Springs, My Name is Sheba. It's in a slim case. Live at Jozara, Monkeys and Mochas, Coffee House Sessions. Trigonometry. Aiden Essen, Inda Dulu. Tom Smith, Jack Rabbit. Stephen Dudash, Violin and Roses. And there he is again doing Mango de Django. Okay, the next comment was Adam Bernardi on SW, Sato Wannabe. And then Donna on Candace Springs. And Donna says, what the? And then Sherry Darnell wants the Coffee House Sessions. Okay. All right. And then this handful had Alana Miles, the Allman Brothers second set. The Allman Brothers second set. LC Good Rock and Robinson, Mojo in My Hand. Sonny Terry, Johnny Sonny Terry, Johnny Winter, Willie Dixon, Whoopin'. Davis Cohen, Ill Disposition. The Allman Brothers, Live USA. Looks like a German import. I think it is. Yeah, made in West Germany. Kevin Brown, Rust. Big Blue Hearts, Here Come the Dream Again. Might to See You, Live at Stubbs. Bruce Sudano, Life and the Romantic. Alana Miles is called self-titled. It's called Alana Miles. Sherry Darnell, you got dibs on both Allman Brothers. Second Step, or that looks like foreign live compilation. John Durden on Matt, M-A-T. And Matt was for this. Okay, Live at Stubbs. Those two Allman Brothers are pinning to Sherry, and then George Burleson. Stephen Dudash, Gypsy Quest. Jerry Cron, Where Are You My Love? Torquato Mariano, So Far From Home. Sarah Edmonds, This Time the Dream's on Me. David Sanborn, Close Up. Steve and Aqua Coulson, Hope for Love. Michael Kamen, Concerto, Saxophone. And The Departure, David Sanchez. All right, so Sherry wants the second set. George Burleson, you get the other Allman Brothers. Stephen Parton got Atlanta Miles. And let me read off the rest of these. And this is the last handful from the Jazz box, if you want to call it that. Sorry, I've got too much stuff here in your way, too. You probably can't even see what I'm showing. Scott Hamilton, Source Point. The Lynn Arlisle Trio. Quality Time, Bob Mincer Quartet. Curtis Fuller, I Will Tell Her, Sealed. Standard Issue, Dave Stahl. One Take, Alama Records Presents. Ben Allison, Cowboy Justice. Lisa Hilton, Sunday Theory. Ricardo Silveira, Amazon Secreto. Ian Doggle, Night Harvest. And Big Band Salutes, Duke Ellington. Grog on Fuller. Sold. Donna on Duke. Sold. And now, my final trick. I'm going to go get one more handful off the shelf, and that's it. I've been reading off titles for 8.5 hours straight. I can feel my brain starting to pulsate, which isn't a good feeling. I've been reading off musical titles nonstop for 8.5 hours. I'm going to finish this little short stack. And I'm going to grab 2 off this next stack. My brain has a heartbeat at this point. It's going thump-bump, 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 thump-bump. Blue Gold, Taj Mahal, Maria Muldaur, Norton Buffalo. Frog Wings, Croaking at Toads. John Fogerty, Premonition. Gary Moore, Power of the Blues. Kenny Chesney, In My Wildest Dreams. Tommy Hill, Rolling with Tommy. Lonesome Coyotes, Just Like New. Big House, Never Ending Train. Fatback at the Groove Band. Elvin Bishop, The Blues Rolls On. Tim Mincy, This Old Heart. Jesse May Hemphill, Feeling Good. Amy Watkins, I Know a Good Thing. The Swinger soundtrack. And Blue Cheer, live and unreleased too. Live at San Jose Civic Center, Blue Cheer. George Burleson on Frog. Frog Wings, Croaking at Toads. So did George Burleson. Sherry Darnell on Kenny Chesney. Anybody else? Robert on Blue Cheer. And unless there's more claims, that concludes tonight's live CD sale. The Elvin Bishop. Elvin Bishop, The Blues Rolls On. B.B. King, James Cotton, Derek Trucks. Disc is Nice. $6.99. If you don't want it, Jim Ciascio does. I'm hoping this McKay sticker will peel off nicely for you. Sorry we got off the stray. John Durden was sleeping when we was going through miscellaneous stuff. Jim, it left a little residue, actually. But it looks a lot better of that off. That's so to Jim Ciascio. Thank you. Sorry we got off the stray. John Durden would have lost his mind if he woke up when we was going through all those buttons. That's what somebody said, John Durden. Someone's like, John Durden would have lost his mind if we would have woke up and during CDs we were showing all those buttons. And then Frog's Wings is Les Claypool. Adam Bernardi said there were 3 Gypsy music CDs. One had Django on the title. Well, we had Mango. We had Stephen Dudash. Is that who you're talking about? These? Mango Django. We sold a lot of cool stuff. I still got all the... You can't see them. Let's see. Hold on a second. Top. Yeah, I still got all the toys back here. You can't see them from... But I still got all the metal toys and the Coke thing. And still got the 52 Tops baseball cards. The 3 Dudash for 15. Sure. There's 1. There's 2. Let me try to find the third one, though. There's the third one. There we go. 30. I think Jim B already offered 60. I think Jim B already offered 60. Recap. No. No recap. These are sold to Adam Bernardi for 15. I'm about to recap an apple and some peanut butter. And I'm going to go ahead and make my videos so I can go to the gym and get a good night's rest. Actually, a good day's rest. I probably only slept for 4 hours yesterday. I woke up and I calculated. My alarm went off and I went. I was like, dang, I've only been asleep for 4 hours. And it was 4 o'clock and I'm supposed to start these shows at 5. And I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, there's no way. I was like, I'm going to be a zombie. But usually when I hit the floor, I'll be good to go. If it was a job I didn't want to come to, I'd be pretty bad off right now. I'd be like, oh my gosh, this is... But I'm having a lot of fun. I hope y'all are too. Quick auction for the cards. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow. Next is recap. Thanks. Jim B is richer than me. How much for that silver airplane? $34.99. I'm having to use literally the camera monitor to grab it. You missed a lot of cool stuff. I think it's missing the landing hardware. And those were just guesses. I hadn't checked anything. That's just my intuition. It looks like $35 to me. Especially if I don't really want to sell it. That's a pretty cool item. Pan Am, American Airways. That's like what B.D. Cooper jumped out of the back of. Yep, no wheels. This one had the landing gear. It looks like something's happened to the nose, though. Looks like it was a kamikaze. It's an F-86 Sabre. What does this thing go for? Tootsie Toy. I like the Sinclair because it actually has gas advertising on it. I think there's going to be a few good cards in here. I think these were all Freds. It looks like a bunch of Cincinnati Reds. Yeah, it's a lot of Cincinnati Reds in here. He must have been a Reds fan. Too bad he wasn't a Yankees fan around 1952. That's some early stuff there. Those are... we had 52 Tops in here. That's 59 Tops. 52 Tops, 78 Tops, 59 Tops, 53 Tops, 59 Tops, 54 Tops, 86 Tops, 1975 Tops, that's Fleer, 65 Tops, 57 Tops, Some of those look like reprints. They're not. Would I take $20 for the Coke bottle? I will. Let me go to the top cam and find it. This is sold for $20. This is sold to Adam Bernardi for $20. Was there something else I missed? Hey, look. First result. Look, first result, Pan American Airplane, $35. Of course, that's active. It's missing the hardware, too. Hey, I'm pretty good at this stuff. Tanner is always amazed. He said, you can look at something and just tell me what it's worth. And I'm like, well, I've been doing this every day, all day, literally since I've been a kid. I can usually just boom and done. Yes. That one's got writing on it. I think these came, boy, that's amazing, 52 tops. I think, no, none of these are reprints. I'll bet you $1 million in cash right now. None of these are reprints. These are. I just seen those for the first time. The rest of these here are real Topps cards. Those are. I'll say that is for sure. But yeah, none of these are. I didn't even see those. Yeah, these are. I'll agree with that 100%. Yeah, those are. These aren't. You can look at the sides and spot them. There's some more modern stuff in here, like right in here, 70s. Right here is what I seen, yeah. Okay, and hold on. Okay, wait a minute right here. Those are modern too. Or they're not modern, they're 70s. Okay, now I'll bet you $1 million. $1 million on the line. You in? Before I flip through them? Who are the reprints? Nothing important. They're all reds. Everything in there is a reds. Everything in there is reds. Let's see what else I have over here. I think y'all like seeing these, since it looks like we got a couple sports cards fans over here. Let's see. Let's see here. It's pretty cool. '83 Topps George Brett. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Meek. That's mostly Hall of Famers there, but nothing special. This looks like, I remember buying these. I'm trying to remember where these came from. These are Ted Williams cards. That's a Fleer. That's the Fleer Ted Williams set. That's nothing. Y'all know how many cards I've thrown in the trash? Oh my gosh. I have thrown I think I might already went through these and helped Tanner sort them. What the price. There's something PSA graded down here at the bottom. Looks like something that shouldn't have been PSA graded. Yeah, see, I just don't have time to sleeve all these and price them. I just have to. I can go through them and pick out the, you know, $500, $100 stuff, 20, and then all the I just don't have time to deal with all that. It's just like records. It's like $5 and $10 records. We don't have time to deal with them. we just got to almost just like discard them. Same thing with cards and comics and everything else we buy. I look for the good stuff, and then we got to figure out how to get rid of the rest quickly and fastly. Same thing with records, anything. I could go through about 100,000 cards, pick out all the good stuff, and then the rest of it would be worth a small fortune, but you got to figure out how to sell it, which is the hardest part in this business, trying to sell all that $5 cards, $10 cards, $5 records, $10 records, $5 comics, $10 comics. And if you got 100,000 of them, that's quite a bit, but you got to sell them, and it's very time consuming. That's why I put stuff up in lots all the time. Lot of 3, lot of 5. We'll probably end up selling these in lots. I'll probably say lot of 20, 1959 tops, 1910, you know, because most of these here are like $5 cards, maybe 7, maybe 3. Some sets like 52 tops, even commons, are obviously really good, but then you get people bring me stuff like 88 Donruss, and I'm like, dude, there's this like this complete set's worth like $4, and nobody wants to buy it. So, okay, yep, 88 Donruss. Oh my gosh, 88 tops, 88 Donruss, 88. That's a bad time for sports or for baseball. If it's basketball, I'm said bring them to me. 86 basketball. Hey, I just looked at this again on eBay. Surely somebody needs this for $3,000. That's a great price. If you're wanting one, it's a great price. Surprised no one's pulled the trigger on it yet. No, I'm not taking any less. We could have a 242 AM air horn right now. Just somebody say sold. I'll take it, Chad. 3,000. All right. He lives another day. Dr. J sticker, same set. Isaiah Thomas sticker, same set. The checklist. Dr. J, 86 Fleer. I think we've had enough fun tonight. I better end the feed. Thanks, everybody. Good night. John Durden started collecting in the year 19,809. '86 Fleer, Dr. J, Near Mint 8. Near Mint 8. Man, how did that thing get scuffed? The case has got a big scuff on it. I think that'll come off. I could try to spit shine it right quick, but maybe off camera. John Durden is a huge anti-grading person. And I'm probably the opposite. I'm probably the most pro, you should probably have it graded person in the world. I love PSA graded cards. Comic grading. Well, at that point, for the rare stuff, it's like encapsulating art. So, when you have a Superman #1, you want to have it slabbed. You don't want to touch it. You don't want to touch it. Okay, I'm signing off. Jim, I'll think about that. I'll think about that for 12 hours, okay? And 3 hours and 15 minutes, people are going to be waking up expecting me having a 6 o'clock a.m. video posted in a whole lot of records. So I better sign off. I'll say this about grading. If you're going to be a dealer and you got to make money off of it, you got to have stuff graded. So if it is a scam, we still got to do it. If you're going to get big money for stuff, you got to have stuff authenticated. You got to have stuff graded. PSA, JSA for autographs is who I use. CGC for comics. Otherwise, you're going to be in trouble. Jim B, I will think about that offer for the next 12 hours, okay? Thanks, everybody. The stream is officially ending. And good night.